Legs,
right. Well,
bro.
last time we were with the forest group in the city of the dog, and you were planning to begin your travel after gaining knowledge of where the ancient artifact of the Testadine is further to the south, kind of passing back again to your former home, the city of Salt. You elect, though, to take another day to make sure the children and yourselves are prepared with the proper gear, weapons, and armor. Um, you've been ambushed and attacked a few times, dealt with a black ancient black dragon. Um, you, there's Tarrasques supposedly in a farm nearby that you guys know got released. So different things on your minds, as well as just passing by the city of Salt, where your characters aren't fully aware of what's happened in the city. So there are, I think, those pressures of revenge coming after you guys, like someone following you, trying to figure out. You already kind of had that, but you got some of them eaten by T-Rexes. Um, you see the only thing that disturbs this day, other than just general shopping and stuff that you guys went about, for the yourselves and the children, was later on in the evening. You guys are woken up after getting pretty high in smoking, hotboxing your mansion, basically throughout the day. Woken up by the Sinis guards. Um, outside at the gate, there's a commotion with some centaur. Irony. I did get some inspiration from my centaur druid I just mentioned, but nonetheless. They are coming to ask about the dragon, like it was the day before. Barong, this terror of the marsh that's looking for new territory. The Sinis are not being their normal hospitable selves to the centaur, which you guys find a little odd. They also, you guys are able to help translate for the centaur and communicate with your different abilities. And they ask about, they found your artifact cache hidden in the trees, asking about that. You basically alleviate most of their fears for the most part, telling the dragons flying further east, but they take that, they obviously react to like that they're going to start to spread that knowledge and start to maybe do something about it. Um, Nonetheless, after that commotion, you find them amiable enough, and you kind of let them just go about their ways. Meanwhile, Jenny's character spent the entire day trying to catch smoke in bottles, which I had to write a little thing about because I just thought it was so cute and funny. It's like, uh, we then, once Jenny arrived last week, we were able to shift back to the city and complete a rather important event where Thelis has invited the elf Alucard from the 8th house to dinner with his master Orcivore of the 11th house. Alucard agrees, but he doesn't know that he's being tracked by Mel, who knows he has the soul of the matron mother caged. With the assistance of her divine magic, undead kind of powers, she's able to find Alucard right before he gets to the gates of the 11th house. Um, and with research she's done in the days prior about what happened, what Alucard did with the soul cage, she knows she can't manipulate it with magic herself without something more powerful, where she is magical, but she's not a wizard. And there's the risk of losing the 12th word of power in the process of that, and thus causing a catastrophe by awakening the beast. Like, in the 270 some odd years in the city's existence, a word of power has never been lost. It's been transferred multiple times, but losing a word of power is never done, so no one really knows what will happen. But Alex just tackles Alucard before he gets to the gates. The 11th door guard, Bora, the Slinks mage, comes in. Garuld and Ferrum are able to fly and intercept, because they saw from the magical walls and screens that exist in the 11th house wizard tower. And there's we were a little bit of a encounter as Mel has Alucard gripped on the ground, is trying to interrogate him, but then you guys, Farum and Garuld, arrive, transforming into the beast that you are. Garuld is, I should say, and then Farum just being his robotic self. Uh,
Positive.
there, Mel kind of realizes this was a little brash. I think was that this direct approach may not be the best way. Like an idea came to mind, and she backs off. And Orca for the leader of the 11th house, the very powerful Archmage, he watches from up above through his wizard's tower. Mel backs off and escapes. The other of you three take Alucard upstairs into the 11th house with his soul cage still intact, and basically have him for dinner, start to interrogate him for what to do about this situation. But Mel, in the meantime, uses her divine connections and some sending spells to contact the soul of the matron mother within the soul cage and form a pact, an agreement with her that the mother will transfer the word of power to her. And Mel will ensure that her soul will not disperse into the chaos that is now the undead time period that we live in. So Mel, the matron mother agrees. And with this, Mel quickly travels to the center of the city to the 12th Bind, sneaking past the patrolling God Butchers. She goes to the 12th Bind, kneels down below, contacts with Divine Magic the matron mother again. And the matron mother tells her the ritual of she has to give part of her life force. So Mel cuts her hand, the blood starts to drip, and then the ritual circle literally starts to suck it from her hand, and she has to withhold it basically. But because she's part blood hunter, she's able to kind of manipulate that a little bit. We elected, and then the matron mother tells her basically of the phrases that need to be said in order to activate the ritual. And Mel says them in the celestial divine language and goes through. I gave you guys the translation, and with the manipulation of the blood and the transfer of the divine words into the seal, the matron mother gives her access to that power to keep the Tarrasque asleep. And all Alucard kind of hears is like a laugh at this point from the matron mother in the soul cage because no one else can really see it. And at the same, there was a worry that a similar thing would happen when that the Tarrasque would wake up. None of that seems to happen, so Mel feels like it went through, and without really anyone knowing, other than herself and some intuition from other people, Mel becomes the Binder Lord of the 12th house, controlling that 12 of 13 words of power. There's some scrying and research trying to figure out what happened because Orcafor, as a Binder Lord himself, and the assumption is the other 11 Binder Lords would also sense it as well. This shift that there was something that they picked up on. They don't know exactly what it is, but they know something happened with this. And Orcafor being one of the older, he's a gnome, one of the older Binder Lords. This is probably not the first time he's sensed something like this. We will pick up on the next day, no matter what group we begin with. In some ways, it makes sense to continue with the city, but I'm fine if we want to continue the travel of the forest people. We left off in both of those places where there's a movement time for you guys to choose movement of what you're gonna do next. Kind of thing. I will say if you choose the city route, it will. There is more control of the narrative I'm gonna have than in the forest. Just kind of you guys traveling. There's an encounter that's going to come up rather quickly if you choose the city. So, where do you guys want to begin?
Ugh,
I'd say it makes
spoils.
most sense to wait for Jenny before we go into the city.
Okay.
I mean, in an odd way, because she's hidden. But since Ved is here, and and I don't know.
Ved hasn't had a chance to be with Setch, yes.
Yeah.
I do
In
not
all those
mind. I don't mind waiting for
No.
Jenny if we want to
I
wait for
feel like
Jenny.
we would want Jenny to be here for the Setch and Mel interaction because they have a
Yeah.
lot to talk about. It would seem.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah.
A lot
Especially,
changed in a matter of a few hours while she ran away from Setch.
especially with those insanity
kind of-
rolls.
Yeah, she's kind of freaking out. I think right now in her lair. what
and I think
Jenny
I remember her
described.
saying that I think Setch is one of the few people she would inform about this. You can confirm that, but
Yeah, she sent that to me. I think in a message.
Are they gonna send us a message? That's fucked up.
Damn.
They're gonna invite us for dinner.
No.
Bro, I got the SMS. She was a Binalord. You didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then with the forest group, I we will that's why on in Roll20 I have you on the main map is where we are basically to show for Nova as well as other people. The forest group, you guys know that you're going to be traveling south. You want to get to the Testadine ruins that are, south of the city. My question to you is what route you want to take? Do you want to take the official Dwarven Trail and go through the city and then across the river? Or do you want to go through the grasslands? What do you want to do?
Well,
Which one has the least doors?
the grasslands.
Yes,
But if we
yes,
go
yes.
to the
idea-
city,
I'm now realizing why Sadar likes the Animaesus is, they don't use doors a lot, right? They have like
Exactly.
holes and things like that.
Doors are honestly a problem.
Well, the way
through the city.
the way that Eros would present the idea is like, fuck the city, let's go around. Let's just, stay with nature and not go back to the hellscape. But also,
Okay.
we're also trying to. Well, she would want to also cross paths with the. I know the word probably isn't caravan, but the caravan of the baby Tarasques being moved through the plains. That was like going west at some point.
Okay.
Right would be in agreement. He definitely want to take care of the terrace before it grows too powerful.
Okay. And I imagine you guys would
Does that mean we go
set
to the city and
out
get leads about it?
relatively early.
I mean, okay.
You learned this from the disguised drow that was in your meeting with the city leaders.
Yes.
The rest of the city didn't know about this Tarrasque thing. So, all right. Then
They
I
do
need
now.
the basic questions then of travel, like, what's your marching order? And how are you gonna set up your marching order? And who is tracking? Like, who is the main person that's leading those roles for trying to maintain, you're walking through the wilderness, not getting lost, and also inevitably trying to find the trail of these drow. This is gonna take a few days. Like, this
Yeah.
is gonna represent a couple days of that. And then once we settle that, I'll have follow-up questions.
Eros will take center point since she has the best perception out of everyone.
It's also survival checks too.
Yeah, well, it's more like I'm watching our backs and our fronts and everything
Okay,
else.
so marching order, your
Center.
center. Okay. All right.
Would make most sense here.
Where's everyone else?
I'll be in front of Eros, but I'll be like laying on Hal, and Hal will be like my mount, and I'll be looking around too.
I think Nouvelle would take up the rear. I think Roxana would be behind Eros.
I think I'm relatively close to Arrows too. Probably.
All right.
Well, we need someone to do the survival checks.
Yeah.
Well, you don't. Marching order doesn't affect necessarily the survival checks, but
Okay.
I
Try
think Birdman's a little
front.
torn though, because I think he actually wants to go back to the city, like to see the state of shit.
Oh no.
But I know that they won't let him. They'll be like, no. And he's kind of probably bummed about that.
I'm definitely near the kids, wherever they are positioned.
Okay. Da, 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 da.
So basically, we have the man
Okay.
afraid of doors taking front.
Yes.
Damn right. There are no doors to be seen. He's living his best life.
Listen, Ved, we're gonna trap Sadar in a demiplane that's nothing but doors.
Oh my
You would actually
god.
give him a heart attack. He would.
The house of
He,
doors.
he will fail his sanity check immediately.
The house of
Loses
doors.
all sanity, becomes 0.
That's personal hope of hope.
If
We
it's
hit
one of
zero
those.
speed,
all
brother.
right. We got quite a few of you that have pretty okay survival, if not better than okay survival. Who's gonna be the leader on the tracking?
My survival
I
was
can
pretty good.
Mine's also pretty good.
I've got a plus
Um,
We
9.
do have two.
That's
We do
not
have
bad.
2 rangers. That is true.
Who has the biggest
yeah.
survival out of the two of us?
What is your survival?
+9.
Plus
Bruh.
9 minus plus 13.
Oh my god, your survival is huge.
Dude, my survival.
And I think I'm pretty familiar with this area. Like if we're heading
Okay.
what is it? This way?
We're
It
like
sounds like
heading like something like this.
I don't want to do
by
that.
the description of the drow, you would probably assume that they're gonna eventually want to use the halfling trade route that goes through this area. Just if they're planning to travel northwest, like it implied, for those things.
Yeah, because you said east to west. So
Yeah.
like that's why we can't just
Um,
go this way, even if we wanted to, because they'd probably already be off to the west by the time we reach. So we have to, kind of try and stay relatively close.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
good.
that's very
And
true.
Birdman is
And
sad about this because he knows that he's like, guys, we could just go through the city and then we'll hit like the west, and everybody's like, no.
No.
And he's like, I was
Okay.
like, come on.
Don't you want to
Pick
fight
up the
Tarask?
bow on the way.
and on the whole, um, this high level in the areas you're in general, I'm not gonna have you're not gonna worry so much about random encounters, sort of things like that. I'm going to assume narratively that you guys can handle most of those things just with what you're doing. If something comes up, like, a couple wolves try to steal some food or whatever, you guys, that's not something. So a lot of this will be like travel for a little bit. My question I'm leaning to is like, what kind of pace do you guys want to go at while you travel? Like, how, like, do we want to jump forward days at a time? Do you guys want to play out the time as you travel and just kind of let it flow until it makes sense? I've realized in the past that pacing kind of is determined by the group oftentimes. So there is, and as like a follow up to this, there's the mechanic that I've talked to you guys about before. I think I need to update part of it, but nonetheless, when we're doing downtime like this, there's an opportunity to gain proficiency, craft things, and whatnot. So I guess like how slow do you want to take your guys' travel as players? Is this something that you guys have thought about, or do you care, or whatnot? Because we
Uh,
haven't done something like this in the campaign ever. Like the campaign has been so focused on the city that we've never really done travel like this before.
I personally would be interested. I would be fine with us doing it with us slowing a bit of the ways down and like doing role play during the travel. It would depend on everyone else though, but I'm down to do
Absolutely.
that.
Down. Always down.
Okay.
There
With
are
that pace,
RPGs.
I'm never up.
that pace, generally, I just would go to you all and say, "Hey, what do you want to do today?" And we'll go until like you guys don't have anything left to do, and then I'll say, "Okay, the day is over. Take your long rest or at night." Um, until something happens, instead of like, hey, 4 days go by, you're now here. It's kind of the idea that my brain
Lincoln,
was
you
thinking.
miss it.
So, okay. Then let's get started with that. I would like a. I mean, you all get your normal inspiration to start.
Yeah.
Of course, and then there are four of you, and then you all get an additional one
Oh,
because of reasons that I did behind the scenes.
oh,
Shit, I
Um,
need it.
Oh, there you go.
and Nova, we use our own homebrew inspiration rule. Everyone starts
yippee.
with a point of inspiration at the beginning of every game. They go away at the end of the game. But you can spend them on various things, including experience points. When we wrap up in the game, I do a mixture of milestone and experience based upon role play and experience in the like just being in the game. It's not really about kills or anything like that. Although killing can get you a milestone. They've done that
I
before.
love killing.
Hell
Um,
yeah, brother.
so
Oh, no.
there's a handout that loosely explains what that is and what you
Alright.
can do with it. But the 4 point narrative is extremely powerful. So they've done some weird things. Contact gods. Introduce themselves to matron mothers 3 acts before it was supposed to happen.
Made it
Fun.
good.
You know, different things.
Yeah.
But I enjoy the back and forth it brings. But every time you spend an inspiration point or I spend an inspiration point, it goes back and forth. So I get one when you spend one, when you lose one, and you get one when I lose one. Okay, so this first day of travel is going to be whatever you guys want to do. It is you going at the speed of the children and whatnot. You only can really, about 30, maybe 40 miles a day, and you're pushing it. It's more like 25 with the kids. They for those things. So you get a little bit out of the way of the city as you go. And you have opportunity. You can travel at most 8 hours a day to get to that 20-30 mile marker before the kids need to stop and you need to just rest, and all of you kind of feel that way too. You can push yourselves beyond that if you would want, but after we get to like the 4 hour mark, meaning you've been marching for like 12 hours, I start to do exhaustion checks to see if you just can do it anymore. Hiking for more than 8 to 12 hours is for any creature is a lot in a day. So then it gives you opportunity though to gain proficiency in things if you want, as well as roleplay. You have opportunity to for every 8 hour period that you invest into gaining proficiency in downtime to roll a check. Get yourself a point if you beat the 10 DC to gain towards 20 points towards proficiency, as well as expertise to gain beyond that. It's loosely explained in that handout. Other than that, I need a survival check to see if Birdman picks up on the trail of anything useful today. It's you guys are following the tree line, so it's not really like getting lost isn't the issue. And this survival check can also represent the hours you would spend beyond travel trying to gather food for people if you would like. Brandon. If
Yep.
Sadar wants to help with the food
Yeah,
gathering,
I was
he
gonna say.
can, or help with the tracking itself, he can. And then roll those survival checks. We'll kind of
Birdman,
talk.
bardic inspiration.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go. Love to see it.
You
Mhm.
And do I roll for
Uh,
food, or do I just get food? How does it-
What's a D? Is it your? It's a D8. Right?
It's a D8, yeah.
Survival. There's a mechanic in the Dungeon Master's Guide that I use for like food gathering. If you will look for that,
Let's do it.
that is the DC where you're at. It's not. It's actually looking at what Birdman's check is. He literally has to roll a nat 1 to not hit the DC.
Let's go. Yeah, dude, we can find food hella easy, right? Because we get double. Isn't we get the double from foraging because of Natural Explorer? So we find so much food if we're looking for it.
Yeah. You beat the general check, and then you're Outlander.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Outlander.
I like to imagine Birdman's just having the zoomies dashing around
Okay,
everywhere, collecting
well
food as we go.
then, you and 5 other people. There are the kids. Okay, so
Could I-
Birdman.
Could I do
Yeah.
survival to get more food?
Yes, you can.
I don't think I am an Outlander.
That's kind of rough.
Nah, you're a caged bird.
Yeah.
An outcage.
Okay. You guys.
Oh no, I did. I'm a criminal.
Numbers.
I'm a criminal.
Yes.
I'm a criminal.
He's got a gun.
He
I
does.
do have a gun.
He sucks with it, but he does have a gun.
I haven't used it. It keeps fucking jamming on me.
I don't know how to use it, and I'm not afraid to.
That's not true. I know how to use it.
It just never
Do you?
works.
It just
Do you
keeps,
really?
it just keeps breaking on me.
Okay. I would like. I would like Brandon to roll a d6 plus your wisdom.
Oh no.
Are you wisdom?
D6.
Plus my wisdom?
Mm-hmm. Modifier.
1d6 plus 3 coming right up.
Sweet. That's exactly what you needed.
No.
Okay, so it's
Alright.
probably a mixture of small game, berries, some tubers, maybe some mushrooms throughout the day as well. You do not have to break into any rations or any excess food today. You guys are able to find enough food for everyone to be fine for this first day of travel. With your survival checks, you find a little cusp of trees that you can make camp at for the evening. You have an 8-hour period to basically use for like maybe like the 4 hours in the evening, 4 to 6 hours in the evening, and then 3 to 4 hours or so maybe in the morning where you guys can do different things. You need to sleep for the time unless you beautiful elf people want, you guys can break those rules. But nonetheless, what do you guys want to do with your downtime today? This is where you can get one check, unless you want to start messing with your sleep schedules, to gain some proficiency, or do you want to have a little role play scene around the campfire, or do we just move on to the next day?
I think
Urban is not sitting around the campfire. He helps you make it, but then he kind of just disappears.
Eros wants to practice her survival and wants to take Althea with her. She would go up to Althea saying, "Hey, you and me, let's go in the forest and just walk around a bit."
Althea would look around, look at you. Althea's a young drow, about the age of 12. Eros, would you, for Nova's most benefit, describe what Althea looks at when she looks at you with this quizzical look and then looks around with like that look of, are you sure it's safe? Kind of thing. But what does she see? What does she see when she looks at you?
When Althea looks at Eros, she sees a beautiful woman, a beautiful, 26-year-old woman with long, flowing, luscious black hair that falls down to her waist, wearing a very well-made crop top jacket type thing that is mostly black with some gold accents here and there, and also wearing a very skin tight leather outfit, full body outfit that has this type of quote unquote invisible silk that's pretty much just see through that shows off the sides of her waist and cuts down in a V for her cleavage. And there's also trimming of bronze scales, wasn't it? Pretty sure it was bronze scales.
Yeah.
Yeah, a trimming of bronze scales. And it's still like, it's, what time of day is it?
This is evening. The sun, it's probably like 4 p.m. The sun's not going to be down for another 3 or 4 hours, so it's still pretty bright out.
Right. So then her tan skin shines a little bit in the light of the evening sun. And her eyes are what are they? Her blue eyes sparkle a little bit, whether it be they're naturally sparkling or there's a purple magic that flashes through them every now and then.
Althea is a young drow, about 12 years old, in hides and scale mail that she's very proud that very new, that's obviously made for not a drow. It's a little awkward on her, but it does fit. And she has this gnarled, wicked looking, like, tree branch staff. Very druidic vibes you get from this young drow. And a sense of magic and power that she already can connect to pretty well to the nature around her. But being a drow with the sunlight on, she does have a hood covering her face. Doesn't look up for too long before pulling the hood back over because her eyes have yet to grow accustomed to this. The city of Salt consistently has a dark, kind of noxious cloud above it that does allow the drow to exist there with more ease than outside the city. But looking at your confidence, she nods and basically gets down and she is going to spend some time also working on her survival because she's not proficient in survival because she is an Urshan background and she spent more time with
Yikes.
nature and animal handling. So she finds a little foxhole of this little fox family and spends part of the afternoon just kind of talking with them and learning about the area and telling jokes and things like that. And Lust, what Eros, you also find it's a simple forest at this point. There's no real evidence of any other creatures other than forest creatures about. And maybe a couple centaur horse tracks from them circling around the area recently. So, is there anything else you would like to add to your afternoon you spend with Althea just hiking about?
Yeah. Uh, at some point halfway through, Eros would ask, "So, it's been a few weeks. How are you holding up since?" I know Eros will remember the name. We just haven't said her sister's name in so fucking long. But I have
Yeah, we haven't.
Adira.
Adira.
Hurrah!
How have you been since Adira passed?
He tries to play off like that, doesn't taint the mood that is here. But you can tell that she didn't exactly want to talk about that. And she just nods and looks out to the kind of wooded trail where the couple of fox pups are wrestling amongst themselves, growling. And I still have the others. I'm okay. I miss her more than anything else, but um, she just kind of shrugs and
I know.
hops down off the little rock and like walks not far enough away for you where you have to yell, but a little far away to like act like she's gonna go play with the baby foxes.
I know that we still have the others, but it's been 21 years since my parents died, and I still miss them.
She's not really dead, anyways, right? Like,
Her soul is
I don't know.
alive, but even if someone is alive in a sense, they're not here. That's the part I'm getting at.
Yeah. That's why I'm glad we left. I don't know. Being out here away from the dark in the sunlight, and she kind of tries to look up, but her eyes squint very, very viciously at it. And when she closes and turns away, it's like, I don't know. It helps me realize that maybe what she died for, there's other bigger things, and I can do a big thing. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know if we meant to, but I feel like we did something really important. And she turns back to you, her red eyes squinting. I We changed the city. We did. I don't know for good or bad, but we did something, and that makes me think Adira's death matters a little bit. I don't know. Plus, Cash is pretty cool. I want to see more like him, and there's all these other places we've never been. Adira would want to go, and maybe I can see it. And I don't know. Strike said that she's alive in a way. Maybe if I see it, she sees it. She shrugs and grabs one of the little pups, and they start to angrily grab at each other. And she's trying to break up their fight as one's trying to, you know, get a little angry and grab the ear of the other. And she just very, very dexterously just peels the teeth off the ear and picks him up, and they're just still fighting in her hands. And she's just, why is it always so difficult? She looks at the two of them and just puts them down. And they start just rolling and growling, and then she speaks to the fox in a language you don't really know, but you can kind of understand languages and with her speak with animals, and the mama fox just shrugs kind of thing, right? Like, boys will be boys. Anyway. She comes and sits back next to Eros, and how long are we gonna stay out here?
Well, we're out here is a bit of a relative term, so I can't fully answer that question. We're going to be in this general area for a few days or so.
Well, I think Leandra, she's been talking about the city. I don't know. She wants to go back.
Of course she does.
So we're going back to the city. I'm worried she's going to do something, but it's a couple days away. I think I don't know. She hates it out here. She hates, I thought the city was dirt. This place is cleaner than the city, but she seems to disagree. I don't know.
Leandra takes highly after Cotton. Very much so. It's not surprising. There's being out in the wilderness, no one's going to get mad at you for taking something that isn't yours. It's survival, after all. The city provides with it a certain thrill that I think she's a bit addicted to. If I could, I would have us all avoid it, but I don't lead the group. It's a democracy, essentially. I didn't ask anyone to come along with me. They chose to come along.
She just kind of shrugs and nods and like, okay, that makes sense. And then, well, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. We can go back. But first, I want you to remember this much. I'm not really certain whether or not we did a good thing. And I don't really care if we did. I just wanted to fuck some people over. And I wanted to save my friend. Everything else is inconsequential to me. I'm also, while I wasn't there when it happened, I don't personally think Adira died for a reason. I feel like she should still be with us. But you have to be the one to decide what things mean to you. If you think they're good, then you can think they're good. If you think they're bad, then you can think they're bad. I'm not going to tell you what you think it should be. I just want to make sure that you're not still caught up in it. That's all.
She looks at you and then just kind of leans in for a simple but very, very like she doesn't give a full hug, but like there's definitely a full intention behind it. And she pulls away and is just Eros, you're a good mom. I like you a lot. So,
I wouldn't call myself a mom.
well, you're the closest things we got to a mom because it's sure as hell not Birdman.
Well,
I'm offended, but okay.
Batman wants to be the
You're
I
not-
thought I was pretty cool. But
no, Birdman's the cool uncle. That's what she's saying. Like Birdman's the cool uncle that gives them weapons, lets them do things, and then like
buys them
arrows.
knives for Christmas.
Like arrows and strike are like the parents. Basically, is how she like sees it in her mind. Is what she's gonna say here. Arrows, you can roll a d4 if you would like to gain some sanity.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh.
Ooh.
that's pretty good considering that you lost some last semester.
Yeah,
Yes.
but now I'm at a fucking 20, bitches.
You lost
Alright,
some last session and the session before.
Yeah, it's
sanity. Your sanity stat nova starts at the average of your other stats.
Can I start insane?
If you want to, you can. I have no
I
issues
might
with
want
this.
the character.
Uh,
You can take
there-
70 points and distribute it to other stats.
I mean,
Really wants to go insane.
some of us did start insane. Technically, I mean,
Some
Yes,
of us
you did.
went insane.
Some of us went insane.
started there. Some of us went insane.
There's nothing wrong with that. If you would like, I'm fine with that.
I'm just spitballing.
some of us,
We
thought it was a good idea to have 37 HP at level 14.
Hey, bro,
It's an
it
awesome
was
idea.
fine.
It's cool. It's fun.
He's still alive.
Good for the
He's
kids.
He is still
alive.
alive, so fuck you.
He almost died a few times, but he's
Literally
still
almost
alive.
got one
Brenton,
shot.
Brenton, what's a
I
real
did-
life sanity?
I did almost get one shot.
He
He's
got-
a
yes.
child.
But hey, that was the matron mother. It was blades and wards.
Kid has
so
to work on his constitution, man. He's gonna get swole.
I enjoy that idea
Drink a
very
bunch of
much.
poison.
It makes sense in some way.
Can't drink a
This
bunch
is
of
why
alcohol.
Althea has really bad dexterity and strength. But nonetheless, yeah, but her charisma knows no ends. Okay. You guys start to walk back to camp. The sun is definitely starting to go down. It's not quite sunset by any means, at least another hour away. And I imagine Nouvelle sitting next to the fire, sharpening her short sword.
Can I say
Rogar's probably nearby. Yeah.
Can I say that like while they're going back, Eros is playing a song on her lute, like one of the first songs she learned from Cerulean, just on the way back.
Okay. Is this a song that Althea has heard before?
Probably not. It's a bit of a personal song because it's the song that she like one of the first songs that she heard from Cerulean back when he found her. and found her wandering a burnt down village.
I'd say about the second verse in Althea is follow humming. Like she's not 100% correct because she has never heard the song before, but she's trying to participate nonetheless with it just because she seems very happy as she gets back to camp mostly. Very cool. Do any of the rest of you do anything with your evening before bedtime? And as a
What's the
reminder
badger
for
doing?
proficiency gain, keep track on your sheets of how many points you have. That way it can stay in an easily accessible spot.
What's the badger
Uh,
doing?
what's the Badger Man doing? Is he just
Yeah.
hanging out with Rogar and the boys, or
Oh hell yeah, he's roughhousing with the boys. Getting some sparring in.
I love it. You can re-roll that 9 if you want, Nova.
Thank you.
And okay. Would you like to turn this into any sort of proficiency gain, or is this just a simple scene for sanity?
Go kill us, let's go.
Fighting.
Never mind, that's too
What
much. Okay.
could there be
Sorry.
for proficiency gain?
Okay, los
See.
dos.
Gain all those dos.
Maybe stealth? Trying to take a more stealth and ambush type fighting style?
Okay. Stealth and ambush with Rogar and Donovan. Okay. They are both proficient in stealth, so you might have your work cut out with you to beat them, but nonetheless, let's roll a few checks. Rogar, however, though, you just give him a split mail, so he has disadvantage.
Oh no.
Um, okay, well, it is a couple hours where Donovan is consistently behind you, no matter what you do. And Rogar is just trying his best, but he's not used to the split mill yet at all. And he just sounds like a walking,
An
can of
elephant
food.
at a porcelain store.
And it's a little big on him. Like he is 16, but it's still a little big on him, despite him being very strong like he is. And you gain a point of that. I love how Brandon rolls a 3 and gets a 13.
Yeah,
Uh,
I rolled a
16.
stealth check too because I imagine while Strike is training, you find me out in the middle of the forest, like sitting in a tree, like smoking. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
um,
I probably pop out of the bushes at you because I don't think you can see me immediately.
I
You gotta
picture
just, like,
Rogar hiding beneath the tree you're in multiple times, and you just looking at how just ridiculous he sounds and looks in his big armor,
Tries
trying
to
to be
hide behind
stealthy.
a really thin tree.
It's just like, what are you doing? And you watch as Donovan creeps up behind him and snatches and grabs him by the tail a few times and running circles around Strike. Donovan's really coming into his own in the wilds more than any of the others are. Like him and Althea, definitely. And he's enjoying every moment of this. I'm gonna have roll a D4, good sir.
Hell
Strike
yeah.
or some
Always a one.
sanity.
slowly gaining your sanity back.
Slowly, I'm at a
Slowly
16.
clawing from the grips.
I'm at a 16, baby.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
I don't
coming
even know
back,
how, but 16.
coming back up from a fucking 1.
What Strike
from a one.
notices
Oh,
during
weeks
this
or
time
months.
is just kind of an echo of a little bit of what Althea was saying, and something you probably noticed throughout the day as you traveled. Leandra, the young panther that you've taken in, she is throughout the day leaving the city of the dog. She didn't mind that city, but you can tell it wasn't comfortable to her either. She's getting more and more quiet and distant, and her stealth is ridiculous. So you probably lose track of her for a couple hours as she just tries, like Birdman, probably get lost for a little bit or not.
I find her ass too.
Even Roga finds her.
So it's one of those things where she is like away from the camp, so you can't see her for these cospa trees, but like if you like turn around these 3 trees in this bush, she's just obviously there. Like it's not really too great of a hiding spot. And she, I imagine, has her dagger and is like clanging it into a thunking it, I should say would be the better word, into like a fallen trunk, like just like absentmindedly.
This is
Not
perfect.
even
Can I just like come down from the tree and be like, "What's up?"
She yeah, I'll leave
Just
it
like
there.
vampire hang down from a tree. So
Okay, she jumps but tries to brush herself off like you didn't scare the living shit out of her. And she just gives you that look of like, what the fuck do you want, uncle? You know, like, what do you want? Like, I'm a teenager, leave me alone. Like that look. Come on. We all know that look.
I'll just kind of look at her like hanging upside down and go, "Yeah, it's cool. It's whatever. I'm not gonna tell anybody you're out here. I get it." He's like, "I want to escape too. I understand. I get it."
Are we?
And then he kind of like goes back up into the tree, like, "Continue on with your merry way."
She looks at you like, why the fuck did we just talk, kind of thing, and then continues to
Yeah.
clunk, clunk, clunk. Takes out her claws, starts to like carve her name or whatever into the trunk. And she, with the little dagger, and then she just sighs. Eventually, would get back up and come back to the camp as Eros and Althea and are returning. Asks the question under her breath in common about. No, she probably uses thieves' camp, honestly. Just because she misses home and she like it takes a moment. Eros is the one she knows that will always catch up on this of like, what are we having for food? And then there's a gesture over to from Althea in Thieves' Camp over to the hunt that you guys brought in and the mushrooms and stuff, and Leandra sighs about that, sits down, waits for the cooking to begin.
Can I give her like a rabbit?
Leandra.
Like
A whole rabbit.
A whole
The
ass
whole
rabbit.
whole ass rabbit.
Its
He
neck twisted.
sighs. He sighs, like pops out one of her claws and starts to skin it. You can tell she knows how to skin it, but she doesn't enjoy it. Like she's very much a city cat.
Oh,
Like,
the,
this is
the rabbit is probably already pre-skinned. I've been just holding a fucking
okay.
shitty,
Then
gross
I'm
rabbit.
gonna-
Plain rabbit, just carrying it with you.
I just
she-
I just come back out of the forest like and drop it in her lap and tap her on the back and be like, "That's why we talk, bitch." Like I give her that look of like, "That's why we talked, motherfucker." Just like, and then yeah, just come out and skulk by the fire for a minute, eat my mushrooms and shit.
he sniffs the rabbit and then bites into the raw meat and just starts to eat, impatient of the cooking. Really, just trying to subside her anxiety from all of this. And is there anything else you guys want to do with your evening?
Yeah.
what is-
While you or
Go ahead. No,
Uh,
you're good. Go
okay.
ahead.
While Eros
And
is
after Eros, so I want to know what Sidar is doing.
Yeah.
oh right, forgot about the doorman.
There are no doors out here, so
There are no
like
doors.
we're
We
not.
make the
Ladies and
doors.
gentlemen.
All of a sudden, you guys turn around and there's a tree, and it's Nightmare Before Christmas, a door leading into.
Fedar is just
Oh
standing
my
there.
That would break his mind.
Did I
Uh,
know how to use dimension door?
Eros. Well, Dimension Door doesn't have a doorknob, so it's fine. It's a gateway.
Unless
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 while
We
Eros
just have to
is
find out how that affects him.
while
I'm
Eros
realizing
is cooking, she's going to. My dog just farted. She's going
Yes,
to
dog.
say name. There it is. Roxana, could you come over here real quick? And he muted himself. Fuck.
Sorry, my dad came in there.
his dog
Um,
also farted.
yes, it did. It shook the house.
Oh no, it's
I
not
used to we used to have a bulldog that literally like when they farted it vibrated floors. So, uh,
Oh my
but
god.
nonetheless,
awful thoughts.
yeah,
Holy fuck.
bulldogs are very very flatulent. But the Roxana, that's who you said, right?
Yeah.
Roxana is probably off on the side. Probably came and sat next to Leandra and is like asking Leandra if she wants it cooked as Leandra just like licks the blood off like cats do off the meat and like takes another bite and she just shrugs as she hasn't gotten used to like the wild nature that comes out of all of them the more they're out here. And she walks over and is like, we're gonna eat something cooked, right?
Yeah. Duh.
Okay. Okay, I never noticed how sharp her teeth were until right
She's
now.
Panther?
I understand this, but she's like, look at her. She's like grown up out here. Like, look at Donovan and Rokar too. They're the only one that hasn't is little Althea, but you know she's an elf, so I'm not really surprised that she still looks like this little cherub.
Hmm. You need to go outside more. Touch some more grass.
Isn't that what we've been doing the last like 3 days? A day? It's only been a day.
Weeks. And I said touch
Ooh.
more grass. You haven't touched enough. You need to touch all the grass.
Okay. I will lay on the grass tomorrow morning, and I will lay in the grass. Yes.
Yeah. But first things first, bitch, we're gonna make sure you actually know how to fucking cook a goddamn proper meal.
I don't want to.
Birdman says under his breath, "It's about fucking time."
I don't want to learn.
Everybody-
how to-
Everybody who's sitting next to him can definitely
You're
hear
so
it.
good at it, Eros.
Everybody not solemnly.
Like, why can't you do the cooking?
I'm sitting next to
all
Strike like it's
the
about fucking time.
Yeah.
No.
Like all the time.
No. Listen here, motherfucker. You don't get to just learn how to fucking bard under me and not learn how to goddamn cook. I have gone easy on you long enough and I've gotten too many fucking complaints. Literally too many.
I would like a perception check versus her deception check right now. As she tries to give you the slip and like, oh, look over there.
The old classic misdirection.
And she goes left, you go right, but then you turn around and grab her with your backhand by her hand as she tries to go behind you, and your shoulders are, her left shoulder is facing your left shoulder with your hand, so you're both looking over your shoulder, and she gives you that look like, fuck, god damn you.
Right,
Like,
Mr. Birdman, did you really just try that?
Classic misdirection, man.
and
It's like-
she sighs, she takes your hand very slowly and gingerly off hers, and she sits down. Is like, all right, do you want me to? And she almost pukes. Got the other rabbit, or do you want me to boil the water? Or,
Bitch, if I have to teach you how to boil water, I'm going to kick you in the fucking pussy. I swear to shit.
Kicker. You're just there fucking Merman's over there looks like kicker.
Okay, how much do I fill up the
Shit.
pot? Okay,
Mm,
she goes to water skin and starts filling it up, and fills up like less than a half inch of water. Comes back to the fire pit, and gets
Are
it
we
ready
sure
to
she's
boil.
not blonde? She's not blonde, right?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can we? What the fuck is this?
What?
That's a cup. That's a cup of water. What the fuck is that going to cook?
Was that too much?
A very small fish.
What are we eating pellets now? I'm trying to cook a
Um,
whole ass rabbit, and the rabbit can't even take a bath in this if it was still alive.
I was supposed to wash the rabbit first. Okay.
Oh, you're going to try my fucking patience, aren't you?
You obviously get the impression she's trying to annoy you enough where you just tell her to go away.
Lucidity.
You're not-
Weaponizing combat.
Understand this. You're not leaving. Oh no. None of this leaving. You're gonna stay here, and you're gonna deal with it. And you're gonna keep dealing with it, because you're gonna have to deal with me.
Okay. She, for a few minutes, makes it look like she's doing something, but really isn't.
Every
as
time
you
she
begin cooking.
Every time she pretends to do something, Eros is going to take like a handful of like spices and is gonna like throw it at her. Just every time.
Pocket spies.
Just pick up a handful of flour and fucking put it in her hair.
Yep.
Oh. Every time.
Um,
Just throw a handful of flour at her every time.
No, go take a bath in the
Yeah.
cup.
it looks like, yeah, she like half her hair is covered in flour and things by the end of like mealtime, and she's going to the side, shaking it out all of her hair and sighing, and it was an ordeal, and it probably took you about twice as long to make dinner than it normally does. I'm gonna now have her roll a cooking check. She's not proficient in cooking. What stat should this be? Intelligence, maybe, because she's learning. Okay.
Oh, not bad.
Hey.
Okay. So it's not horrible, right?
Mhm.
Not horrible. But it's not Eros food by any means. For those things. The things that Roxana was part of.
I'm giving her a hearty clap on the back and say, "You've really gotten better at this.
I'm not. I tell her it's still dog shit.
Come on, you gotta encourage them.
No, it's
Ru-
just terrible, man.
And this is really edible. At least.
It's not. It's really. He's like
it's like
looking at
it's
it.
like it's it's the onions are a little crunchy.
You have to have the one chef critic who hates your food. If you
No
don't
matter
have
what.
the one chef critic who hates your
You
food,
do not use enough butter, you idiot.
I'm like that one guy, the bald dude in Chopped.
Gordon Brothers.
He hates everyone's food.
Yeah, everyone except like one person every now and then. He's like, and his compliments are always two-sided too.
His compliments are always like, "Yeah, it's pretty good." That's it.
It's not dog food.
That's all he says.
It was
Yeah,
really
it's pretty-
smooth. It's really
Yeah,
smooth.
it's, yeah. That's it.
You know, I didn't want to chuck this at
You
a
did the
rabbit.
job.
Yeah, you did your job. Good job.
You did this. Okay. Roxana has a difficult evening. It is now getting to the point where we're getting to probably sunset. What has Sadar been doing with his time?
So after eating food, he's just kind of like sleeping away from the group, like kind of away from the fire, like on top of Hal, and just like laying down on his back and like looking at the stars. just staring at the stars. Thinking about like how he's been alone for so many like years out here when he got kicked out of the city, but now he has like people he can actually like talk to instead of just like an owlbear.
And there's laughing and giggling and yelling and arguing and fighting. It's like Hal has one of those looks on it, like he enjoys it, but at the same time, the noise is obviously getting to him. He probably has his paws covering his ears a little bit.
He is an owlbear. He probably is a little bit more sensitive to it.
Mm-hmm. But he, at the whole, it's like you're here, he trusts you, kind of thing. He's not worried about that after that aspect, and that Leandra keeps giving him treats here and there, so he like obviously has like he watches her all the time because she usually like throws him some sort of and like the good berries. He loves the good berries. They're very
He is a fiend for the good berries.
Oh my god, he loves good berries. It's fucking
Mhm.
over.
Yeah. Good berry is one of my favorite spells, and
And
I
I definitely give
I
him good
like what
berries.
Baldur's Gate did with good berries, and I kind of want to steal it. So
Welcome to
I'm-
Goodberry, home of the Goodberry.
you know.
May I take your
Um,
order?
good berry. Well, with a good berry.
Yeah, I'll take 2 good berries with a good berry on the side.
You got it, dude.
part of
Goodberry shake.
part of that description of Sadar makes me think that he feels this is somewhat positive.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. I would like you to roll a d4 as for the first time in years you've spent days with people and they haven't run you off. They've accepted you. You're have a purpose now. You gain a little bit of sanity. A little bit of sanity. A little bit of sanity.
A little bit, just a little bit.
As you get a point to chill. But hey,
Just a little bit.
there is an obvious tone as people are getting ready for bed. The stars up bright above you, clear day. It gets a little windy towards the end of the day, but it's been a very, very happy day on the whole, and everyone seems content with those ideas. Um, if there's nothing else you want to do for this day, we can wrap it up.
Birdman, where were you? You were gonna do something?
Birdman he's just kind of like doing the same thing Sadar is doing, I guess, but he's up in like a tree, probably like sitting somewhere. I was actually gonna see what the Badger Man's doing. What is he doing?
Other than wrestling, right?
Other than wrestling, yeah, of course. What's he doing? What's he up to? Getting ready to go to bed.
Yeah, pretty much about ready to go to bed. For that, he's gonna have a little talk to Nouvelle, just asking her how she's holding up so far.
Well, before that happens, because that's gonna be interesting. I'll kind of like comes up to you and he's like, "Hey,
Yeah?
are you? I got a problem. I think it's a major problem.
What kind of problem, man?
I want to go." And he like looks around, like he like looks like is Eros looking like where is she like, and he like
I
leans
would
in. He's
like
like,
you to roll a stealth check.
She's
Yeah.
behind you.
he's like all
Eros's
this walk.
passive perception is ridiculous, but Eros is distracted
Oh,
right
it
now, so I'm gonna say her
dude.
passive perception is not as high as normal
I'm gonna
because
use one of
she's
my
distracted
inspiration.
with cooking and the children and everything like that.
Oh
Well,
shit!
fuck Diddy.
Oh.
Okay, that's what you need. You needed to get above like a 25 to even have a chance with Eros.
He just says he just looks around and he goes. He like leans into you and he goes. He whispers like really low, like so you can't hear him, and then he realizes you probably can't hear him. He goes, "I'm gonna go back to the city." Like just hella like dismayed. Like, I want to go back, Strike.
But why?
I don't know, man. I just
It's so much better out here.
I, he like looks up and he's like, I don't know. I just I had stuff I was doing, and now I just kind of sit in trees and look at the stars, and it's all good. I'm not saying it's bad. I mean,
To a certain degree, I can understand what you mean. Like, it's too damn peaceful out here at times, isn't it?
Oh.
The city,
You know,
we
like,
only
I
had to
almost-
run around the corner and you had a fight on your hands. I kind of missed that.
but I have a so now you see my dilemma then, or I mean, I want to go back. I don't know how to tell her. I'm just really torn up about it. You know?
As
I don't really know how to
Mm.
help you
Right.
there, because it's rather difficult. Some of us
Yeah,
want to stay out here, others want to go back, and we're kind of out here, but not back there. Well, I guess you gotta make compromises sometimes. Not everyone in a group can always get what they want, but we're definitely gonna return eventually. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so. But I miss being a lawyer, man. I don't know, it doesn't feel like it feels like I'm helping people out here, but it doesn't feel like I'm doing it right, you know?
A damn good lawyer you are. How did you even do that when you couldn't even speak properly? Being the best damn lawyer they had. That's fucking impressive.
It's kind of fucked back. You know, now that I look and think back about it, I think it's more like it's fucked. The judicial system in the city is completely garbage. It's completely a waste of time, and I don't even know why they have it.
The judicial system there? Barely, bro.
You guys have seen a couple trials, but it's like going to Jerry Springer.
Yeah, that's kind of why he's like, it's kind of, you know, it was fun. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But I know that, and I know it's gonna suck because I'm gonna walk over to her and I'm gonna say, I want to go back to the city, and she's gonna look at me with those eyes, those
that you can't say no to,
deep, sad eyes that you can't say no to, and
I know, Jimmy.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. Was Nouvelle standing right there? Is Shadow Butter standing right there? Like, I don't know. Like, shit.
Shallow butter, yeah, sure. She's probably stuffing her face, just like half paying attention, and then you look over to her and she's just like, "What?"
I'm like, look at her like, I need help, you dumb bitch. He looks at her like, well, what do I do?
And then she looks over at Strike and looks over at you, and then shrugs with that look, and as she takes another bite of like, "What am I supposed to do?" Like,
real fucking helpful, man.
And
why don't we find a new city, somewhere where your talents aren't as wasted in that shithole?
No, but I want to go back to that shithole. There's a piece of me there that loves that shithole because it was a place where I went and people didn't look at me funny. Well,
I mean, it's a shithole, yeah, but you know what to expect from that shithole.
I'm very aware of what to expect in that shithole. The only problem is I just don't know what to say, man. And I mean, we're going around it, so I guess maybe I can
sneak in, catch up later, something like that.
I don't want to sneak away. She's gonna find me.
She always does.
And Nouvelle, Nouvelle's a drow warrior. She finishes taking the bite off of the food, wipes her face rather greedily. Nouvelle has very few manners, and looks over at Birdman. Why would you want to go back there? Like, Yeah, you're an attorney, yeah, but you think even the trials are running right now? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I think I just
And
like.
we trust you not to tell anyone either. She smiles at you coyly, like she knows the answer, but
Yeah, and he says, I mean, I just, I don't know. I just, I missed, I miss it. I missed the, you know, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But it's like my heart's there, but my brain's here, and they're not together.
well,
You know, they
Why did you
say
not?
what is that stupid ass saying that they always say? Like, if you love something, let it go, and then if it comes back to you or calls back to you or some shit that like you really love it or whatever. That sounds dumb to me, but it's like what I feel right now.
It's a city. It can hardly come back.
but it's always there, I guess. We don't even know what's left, right? Nouvelle
Well,
says.
I mean,
Didn't we leave a war zone? That we
Like
kind
the
of caused.
12th house is in shambles, I presume. Who knows what other house is fucked up by this point?
yeah, it's okay.
Like,
That's okay. I can get by not having any drow in my city. He looks at her with that same
well,
look of like, I got your ass. That's what you
well,
get for.
would well, you weren't really, I guess, affiliated with the houses in the same way. So she shrugs. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go back, but I'm not you. And she says that in such a way to like the difference in like elf. Like she is a drow going back to the city right now. You guys, it would not be a good idea with
Yeah,
everything that's going on in the city. So
it's just I don't know. I don't know. And then he just kind of like turns around and walks away. You see him kind of look around, scramble up a tree real quick. Allow Dick the Ripper. Just sit in a tree. That's it.
yes. For context, Dick the Ripper is a bong made out of a gorgon penis.
Things that shouldn't have a penis, but they have, and it's metal.
I thought it was all sincere whenever I got here.
And then Dick the Ripper comes out. I know.
Hey man, I have to. Come on, man.
Welcome, Jenny. Welcome.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Jenny.
Hey.
We were wrapping up some roleplay for the first day of travel with the forest characters as they left the city of the dog and make their way back south to intercept the Tarask caravan movement that they learned about from the Drow in their meeting with the Council of the Dog, and then just making their way to the Tortoised Folk, where the other artifact presumably is. Um, yeah, they spent some time hiking, surveying the area, gathering food, wrestling with the children, cooking, forcing Roxana to cook, star watching, stargazing, and then the conversation you just came in was part of that stargazing. Is there anything you would like Solus to do during your downtime after travel? Um, we discussed there's the gaining proficiency kind of handout thing where you can work on something you want to gain proficiency in, or just chill and nevertheless have a possibility, no matter what, to maybe gain some sanity if you would like.
Oh, yes, I would like to do that. I wish to have at least one sane character. And it's clearly not gonna be Mel. So
No, probably
Not
not.
anytime soon.
Okay. What do you do throughout the day to relax and chill? It's a very peaceful day. It's a little windy. Other than that, it's midsummer weather. It's warm, but in the shade, it's not too bad. And once the night hits in this part of the country, it's pretty cool. Sun's going down.
gotcha. I think it would be probably majoritively she loves the moon and like tracking the moon phases. So she during the day would probably be looking through her like star maps and just tracking what the moon phase would be, and then whenever night hits, surveying what the sky looks like, making sure her math was correct.
Was it?
Interesting. Okay. I would like a D100.
Sure.
Now Seth has to remember the faces of the moon.
No.
Aha.
Okay. Okay. You've been tracking it with your time with this group for the last couple of days, and it is a halfish moon.
Okay.
And on this evening, unexpected to all of you, there is a blood moon that happens, seemingly with almost a divine intervention. When the moon
Oh,
rises
Yeah,
this
that was
evening,
something.
it is.
Inside checks.
It
man.
should not be a full. It is a full moon, and it is blood red, and it doesn't make
no.
any sense
What?
with where everything you've been tracking. You can roll an insight, sure, or
roll a
Arcana
nature check?
Arcana or nature would make more
Hmm.
sense than insight.
Yeah.
Yes. I would like nature.
Yes,
Ooh.
nature.
What the fuck?
Nature.
That's right, baby. I'm back.
I'm back, boys.
I see the moon.
Two
and it's red.
natties. Two
That's
fucking
very
natties.
unusual.
We're back in
Two
this bitch.
natties. I'm back, baby. I'm back in this bitch. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself.
Okay, well, Strike knows the obvious. Wow, that's weird. That's
But
fucking
that's the
weird.
moon. It's red.
Uh,
It shouldn't be red.
It's red. He's like, wasn't it a half moon? Whatever. It's a full moon tonight. Not a big deal.
Nature be crazy like that. Who fucking,
You know,
who fucking knows?
nature gave you weird tails and claws, so nonetheless.
Probably commune with my god. Hey, do you know anything about that?
The rest of you, and I think Eros knows gets that this is unnatural, that this is out of the order, and that there's like a focus in how it seems to be almost the moon doesn't go over the sky in the natural way. It's like almost tethered down to the western hemisphere. With what happened, the rest of you, it's obvious something in the city did this. There was some caster, there's some sort of evidence that the magic is there.
I wonder what could have caused that.
Whatever could have
Birdman.
caused that.
I have no
Birdman
idea.
looking up at this, like looks up and goes, "Oh my god!" It just
Like
oh my god.
it's like Close Encounters of the Third Kind. There's like this beacon of red light from the moon that's like shining on the city, and all of you are watching it from afar, just like
Behold, a
fuck?
pale blood sky.
It's not my fault.
It's not your
I think
fault at all, actually. It's actually Garu's
Yay.
fault.
Good. Yes. Wonderful.
He summoned the blood moon through the power of the plot.
I look up. It's a sign. It's a sign. She starts like aggressively screaming, "It's a sign!" and starts packing his shit. It's a sign.
What?
Ryan,
Starts
what the fuck?
It's a sign. It's a sign.
For what?
It's about that thing we just talked about. That thing. The thing. And then he looks up at the thing.
What the thing? You mean to say or something?
I'll be back. And he like grabs it like it's a minimalist shit and just goes, I'll be back.
Birdman?
Where are you going?
Look, I have to go. Okay, I don't know why, but I have to go.
Bert?
All right, fine.
He looks at Eros. He goes, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Eros, I don't know how to tell you this. I want to go back to the city and investigate, and it's a sign, and I gotta go." I think he puts us.
Could you explain yourself?
I something's wrong. Something doesn't feel right. Nothing ever feels right. And I was thinking about this a little while ago, and I think things are right because I want to go back. That's why things are wrong. That's why I don't feel right. It's not that I don't trust anybody, or all these excuses that I was making about, oh, I don't know who I can trust. I don't think I was ever supposed to leave.
I see.
I
So,
feel like my job's not done there yet. Maybe.
I'd say if something's calling him there, just let him go. He'll be back.
You can always message me.
I
I'll come wherever you are. I could, if there are people who could, we just teleported to another continent yesterday. You know what that means?
that we teleported to another continent, and some weird demon boy asked me about vaginas.
Yeah, and it means, yeah, okay, yeah, he was a really weird demon boy, but we're not going to talk about that. We fist bumped. It was cool. Anyway, look, we
Brandon, get inspiration.
You can trust people who fist bump.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I think I didn't know how to tell you, and I've been living in a world where I thought it was because I didn't feel right, or that I couldn't trust anybody, or that I couldn't whatever, and it might be all those things. Trust me, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I think
I
ever
can
since I
always
left,
teleport you back together.
What?
yeah, and if you ever get into trouble or need me, I'm only a message away, and probably a really complicated teleport spell away, or a letter, or something.
You thought I wouldn't approve of this, didn't you?
Yes, I thought you wouldn't approve of it, and the way you're looking at me now is telling me that you're not approving of it.
Eros puts her hand on your neck, right where the mark of Mistra is from when you were turned back into an elf. Don't you remember? I never wanted you to turn back into an elf. But did I stop you?
No.
So you think I would stop you now?
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to come along with me. I said I was going to go to the 12th house, with or without anyone's help. That I would do my best to get Roxana out of there, as well as Cash. But you followed me. That was your choice. And then you told me you would help me find the other caches. That was your choice. I didn't tell you to do any of it. Ever. Just as I'm not telling you to stay. I want you to stay. But I'm not going to make you stay. Although you should definitely rest up for the night first, because you're going to be exhausted as fuck if you go now.
All right. He kind of looks at you and he's like, and he just hugs you. He says, "You're the best." I don't know if anybody's ever told you if you're the best or not, but
Literally thousands.
well,
But it means more
Well,
from you.
can't be wrong.
It's at this point you all see Leandra has made her way to stand next to Birdman with a packed bag.
I was just gonna ask if you want to go with Uncle Birdman.
She looks at you like it's almost a trick question, but nods.
I'm serious. Go with him.
Someone's got to make sure he doesn't die out there.
what are you
She
talking
says.
about? I'm not gonna die, you stupid girl.
Hey, be nice to your niece. You two keep
I
each other
mean,
safe.
I'm not gonna die, little girl.
Well, no one's especially leaving tonight, not with a child that needs rest.
We're already awake, she says.
Yes,
Nah.
but we've been awake for a long time, and you're
Bre-
going to rest up, young lady.
And Birdman looks at her and goes, "You know, sometimes a wise man told me sometimes compromises gotta be made." Granted, I only heard that about an hour ago, but
You can
You're giving me too much credit here.
you can survive one more night. And the city will still be on fire by the time you get there.
Plus, you can, if we wait until the morning, I can just teleport you and then teleport back if you have an object from the city.
Oh, we have many objects from the city.
So there you go.
well, this is awkward now, I think. So who wants to go to bed?
Everyone goes awkwardly sit there.
What's awkward?
This right here.
Yeah, this.
You know,
Um,
when people talk and suddenly there's silence and everyone kind of just stands there, not saying anything, doing anything, looking at each other like somebody wants to say something but nobody does. That's awkward.
The making of a bad orgy every single time.
Kind of, yeah. That's surprisingly
Get the
accurate.
feeling I don't want to know what that is.
No.
Yeah, what is an
No, you
orgy?
don't.
I've never heard that word before.
So you
Oh
see,
no.
Not why the kids idea. Take it somewhere else.
you hear Rogar go, well, he wasn't gonna ask.
Eros would
We still have to
walk
we had to
over
explain to Donovan apple bottom jeans.
bottom jeans. Eros would, getting the message from everyone complaining about that, would walk over to Sadar, put her arm around his shoulder, and like walk off with him away from the campsite and begin explaining in vivid detail how orgies work.
How to plan them, how to organize them, who to find, who not to find,
Who's
who
in
to
charge
ask,
of
who not to
who's in
ask,
charge
those
of what?
Lois, who has very good hearing, is just covering her ears.
Who brings the snacks?
No.
Yeah.
He starts to get like a nosebleed. And can I
Bedwin
use like
getting
4 sided
inspiration.
as well?
Bedwin getting inspiration for you.
Sadar just lost 4 sanity as well. I hope you knew that. It's your fault.
No.
I'm gonna hit Mel's level.
This is what you get for hanging out with people.
You gain it.
They ruin your
Uh,
life.
This is what this group does to people.
We ruin lives.
All right. Well,
Sometimes we
you
save them,
guys-
but then we ruin them again.
you guys head off to bed.
Did I get any sanity from Starman?
Oh, we got distracted. I'm sorry. Roll a d4.
Okay.
Yeah, roll a d4.
I feel like I'm about to
Yeah, I
lose
just
today.
remembered. I was just like, wait a minute.
No, chaos happened. So, all
That's
Which
all your
said
fault.
Warlord, you should be used to that by now.
right. Now that Jenny is here and we are ending this day, the question begs: do we continue with the forest characters, or do you guys want to go to the city folk?
Mm,
Uh,
I
I have no
mean,
strong emotions one way or the other.
if the if Solus is gonna actually
Teleport him in
teleport,
the morning.
that could be a transition there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good transition,
Yeah, like
man.
Birdman might have to spend the day like looking for people.
Yeah, I would have to anyway, because Mel's in her secret lair that I don't know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would be like the day that she becomes the Binder Lord.
Exactly. So the
Oh,
city's
true.
it's in chaos, but
Utter
it's not in
turmoil.
chaos because nothing's
Yeah.
happened, which is weird.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. So we will Birdman. Let's have a little, I guess, send off to Birdman. And before we do, Brandon,
Yeah.
what we need to think and discuss, like is this how permanent is this change? Is my question.
Well, I think maybe
And do you want to make a forest character
another
to join
forest character.
them? I guess is
More
a follow-up question.
characters.
I think maybe.
Just bring in Alex because fuck it.
Oh my god.
No.
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 No. Since
No.
crying.
I
No.
was out, but they keep pulling me back in.
Just when you think you're out, they keep pulling your ass back in.
Would be
Yeah,
funny.
I think so. Maybe.
Okay, I am fine with whatever you all decide.
I will have to think about it.
We can both come in together.
Hell yes.
Yeah. The forest character introductions will definitely be more like people you meet along your trek more than anything.
Another stray.
You find people along the way doing various things. So yeah, think about that. The forest characters can continue their travel. Okay, and Birdman wakes up early the next morning. I imagine, and there are people packing up bags and whatnot to continue their hike. But already the kids are huddling around the place that Solus has set aside for the teleport around camp for Birdman. Um, the kids are upset a little bit. Donovan, it looks a little perturbed. Rogar just looks like, hey, this is what's happening. Crossing his big, bulky, scaled arms. Donovan's a little coyote person. And Althea, she probably looks the most like she can't believe this is happening, kind of thing. Like that this is actually happening. Like that the group is separating like this. And Leandra has a look of contentment, something you haven't seen on her face at all since you've left the city. But they gather around, couple hugs here and there. There's an awkward, like, Althea hugs Leandra far too long, and Leandra's getting like, get away from me, sister, kind of thing. But the other two boys eventually feel content. Nouvelle is just standing back, arms crossed, like she doesn't agree with this at all. It's obvious she does not agree that this is a good idea at all, but doesn't vocalize any of that after obviously the decisions have been made and hearing what Eros said the night before. Roxana is probably next to Eros, wherever Eros is, getting ready to just hug Birdman.
Strike's
before or
definitely
after.
giving Leandra a big hug, tells her to stay safe out there. Then he walks up to Birdman, places a hand on his shoulder, and says, "Bring her back alive, or you won't be alive." Got it?
Yeah, I think I understand the gist of the message.
Good boy.
What if she doesn't? Wait. Are you gonna tell her to bring me back alive?
Of course, that's why I'm going. She smiles.
I look at her like, bruh.
Strike can't help but have a little bit of a smug smile on his face at that. Keep each other safe. You hear?
Yeah.
Well, I guess I should give you a send-off gift, though.
I should also give you a send-off gift.
And Arrow's cast sending on Mel.
Perfect.
Oh, when is this happening?
Right now.
What time of day was the
Morning.
This
binder?
is the morning after Alucard trapped the matron mother, and you're researching with Setch in and around the city in your apartment and stuff.
Okay.
It's during that time. So you haven't become Binder Lord yet.
I
Oh,
like
no.
to think right now she is repetitively casting locate
Yes,
creature.
yes. It's during that time, yeah.
So Arrow says, "Sup, bitch? Birdman is coming your way. Or maybe not, but he will be back in the city. Just to let you know. Okay, bye."
Okay. Mel responds, "Busy, get out of my head. I'll see Birdman soon. I must kill a insane mage."
We're pretty good at
We've
that,
got
aren't we?
N child in there.
Arrow's
Chill, bro. Dude.
Arrow says out loud, "Yeah, she misses us."
I knew she would. I knew she'd be super accepting of me coming home. I knew she
I'll
was
see
gonna love
him
this
soon.
idea. No, Birdman's treating it like you're like, oh yeah, come by. Have some chips, have some beer.
Yeah,
Swing by, I'll give you the
He's a
bird
lawyer.
bong.
Yeah, swing by. We can take hits up.
Okay.
I knew she missed me. I knew she was gonna give me the bird bong back. Damn.
Birdman can be the 12th house lawyer. So
Yo.
Stay
That'll be a
away
new
from
change
my
of pace.
teapot.
Didn't say where. So Mel's definitely misses us. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely misses us for
She
sure.
didn't say where she was though, so I had.
That's okay.
Good
I'll
luck.
find her.
Yeah.
That's all right. She has some sort of weird secret base or anything. Whatever. I'm gonna have to go crack down, kick down some doors. You know how it goes.
I swear to fucking God.
Okay. We obviously need, as part of this transition, to figure out what Birdman does during the day that he returns with Leandra.
Maybe runs into Nova's character.
What's up?
Okay, interesting. I didn't expect this at all, so thank you.
Who's afraid of doors again? Just so I know.
A drow in the lands
Forest.
party. In the forest.
Okay,
Want to build doors everywhere?
Doors.
Yeah, so
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
he's making,
I'm not worrying, but Saddam
is
might
your
be.
character gonna create doors?
Doors.
Conjuration wizard. Fuck no.
You will actually drive him insane every time you summon a door.
Summon a door in front of his face every time
Is it a
he tries to walk
conjuration?
God, I
by.
hope so.
Or an
I need
illusion?
access to the maze spell.
I think
Oh.
Sidar needs a mechanic.
Oh,
that,
fuck no, maze of doors.
I think Sidar needs a mechanic that anytime he's surrounded by too many doors, his sanity just becomes 0 until he's away
it's
from
not that
them.
he's scared of
Or he has
doors.
the effects of confusion.
It's not that he's scared of doors. He just can't open doors because all doors are different. Not all doors are the same.
Does anyone
Not
here play
every
Tomb of
door has the
Horrors?
same doorknob.
Does
I
anyone
like
know
to
the Tomb of
What?
Horrors, the part of the Tomb of Horrors that's just doors?
Oh my god.
No,
It's just
oh
a
my
room
God.
full of doors, but you have to open every single
Alright,
one of them a different
so
way.
you're telling me I need to look in my module pack for an encounter in the future?
We spent fucking 20 minutes just guessing how to open doors.
Fucking shit.
thing is, Dad doesn't even guess. He just doesn't know.
Just
Okay.
stands there existentially, like surrounded by these doors. My God.
I also
Jesus
want
Mental breakdown.
I want to explain that you're the one that popped up the fucking blood moon at this time, so this is your fault.
Has to happen, man.
Yep, it's all on you, God.
Yeah.
Well, I plopped up the blood moon because they rolled and matched my high-low. And I was like, is it the same time? And it was. And I was like, okay, well, there you go.
That's what that rule was for?
Yes.
Gotcha.
I don't always say it anymore. I just say roll a D100 or whatever. But often when I'm doing that, I'm picking is it high or low. And if you match what I'm picking, then what I want to have happen or you want to have happen happens. Otherwise, I don't know. So nonetheless, Birdman with the teleport, Solus has.
I have to go with them, but then I'll
Yeah.
upcast it to go back. I'm gonna take a rock from the campsite so that I can go back.
Okay, cool. Then in the city, where would you take him?
Gotta be at the
I
apartment.
guess the apartment.
It's gotta be where it is.
Whose apartment?
I probably have a piece of the apartment.
Yeah. Okay. Your guys' apartment. Okay.
I just hope no one lives there now. That'd be really funny if somebody just lives there and I just hear in their living room.
Ideas are forming in my brain. Because I did not prep this scene, so give me a moment to set up something. God, I haven't looked at this map in forever. Your apartment map, like I haven't looked at it in forever. It's just like we haven't been there in many sessions. Many sessions. Okay, I can probably make it small.
There's a new family there, and there's a child playing at the window. Birdman runs over like, "Get the fuck away from my window!"
My window.
Sirach's moving in. Just like, yo, what up?
I'll have you know, I am the new landlord. Shut the fuck up!
I didn't like the first one. Stab.
You want to know what happened to the last landlord?
Don't make another landlord soup.
Instantly.
Please.
We didn't make a soup out of the landlord. No. We threw soup
no.
on our landlord.
Yeah,
That's right.
We killed our undead landlord with soup.
Oh yeah.
Did we turn him into
Why was
soup?
he undead?
Because he died.
Well, they killed him, and then he
We
died.
didn't kill him.
We didn't kill him.
First of all,
he was
He died
assassinated.
due to circumstances.
He was blown up, and then came back to life.
And then I kicked him directly in his face.
Now he was assassinated. Then we found his body. We poured soup on him. Tried to force feed him soup food. He came back to life, and then Mel kicked him and killed him a second time.
Did you guys eat him as well?
No, we did. We left his body. No. We left his body to rot in the soup
and burn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know why I expected any less.
Right.
I think this was literally one of the first interactions I ever had with the group, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on.
It was literally the morning after you met us. It was literally the morning after you met us.
Yeah,
After the bar, yeah, that's right.
That's also in the legendary first Mel session.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Teleporting. Does this happen inside the apartment? Outside the apartment? Where do you appear?
Wherever the object is from.
Where's the object from?
Huh.
So like your bedroom?
Yeah, I guess.
Just
Okay.
happen to have a rock from the front yard.
Okie dokie. Let me make sure the map has the proper settings on it.
Lights.
My best friend.
And all right. It is the morning after the blood moon. And this is when you're all waiting for Alucard to come to dinner later and all that other stuff with your city characters. Most of you at the 11th house waiting other than Mel. Setch and Mel separated throughout the day just because ease of the narrative. So we'll get to that point, I guess, in a minute, I should say. But around that early morning time, the various authorities of the city are going about an investigation themselves of what is the cause of all these brute events and beginning to connect dots of what happened with the crew down in the 12th house and their associations and things. Certain connections are starting to come to light and Eros also straight up told the first house about some of these things too. If I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, she gave them the lowdown. Well, the brief summary lowdown. But yeah.
Right. Yeah. So there have been pushes and investigations on there, but today they're doing something they've yet to do. Is the first house has made their way into the throat of the city, contacting one of the local sergeants, trying to get more information about who these people were that were involved in this opening of the case against the 12th house and trying to see if there's other connections they can make. So they've finally, through the grapevine of wolves, been able to figure out that there's this local wolf named Jim that spent quite a few years with Eros and her compatriots. And and Jim has helped the first house kind of locate where they lived. It's been Jim took the time to board it up just so it for now would be left to its own, and he's brought his boss, quote unquote, here, Strikeveil, who was the one that Eros contacted, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And Strikeveil has given this information to the council of the first house and the binder lord, and they have called in kind of an independent party to help them investigate this. So 100% honest, so if something goes wrong they can blame the independent party, kind of thing. If it turns out sour and that Eros was too close to the drow and this wasn't actually what she said it was, and she's just another tool the drow are using to throw them off the trail. At this point, there's still cleaning up happening below the depths of what left is the drow, and the first house are more than well aware of this. And they come to the apartment and have opened the door and are in the process of kind of cleaning through the opening rooms, looking at what's left of the cooking area of the apartment. and there's this happens moments after Birdman is left in the room with after Solus teleports again and leaves. And you are in your room and you hear the door kind of some breaking of boards and whatnot, and then the door kind of cracking open. And Birdman, I would like you to roll me a stealth check with advantage. And I'm going to move you guys to a map. And your passive perception picks up on Jim's voice. They're speaking in Canaan, so there's that. But you do pick up on Jim's voice, and you think you recognize the other. And then there is a third voice you don't recognize, that they're just kind of, loose back and forth question and answer about, how long have they lived here? Who else lived here? There's evidence of kids. Yes, there's evidence of kids, like loose information. And
where did Leandra go? Is she still with?
Oh, I forgot to drop Leandra.
I was like,
Leandra. There are a few other steps. Yep. Yes. All right.
Oh, Leandra shows with my eyes. That's pretty neat.
And you guys can drop yourselves on the map if you would like to see. That's fine. But would Nova like to introduce his character that comes in with these wolves to this strange apartment? He's been asked.
Absolutely.
He's been asked by the Binder Lord to be this third party, to be the person to give further insight into this.
No.
Mel was a cop once.
Yeah,
That's true.
Look at your sanity.
So, do you just want me to do like what like they see or?
yeah, what Birdman roll. No, you don't really see anything because the door's closed. You'll walk out in a second, but just the vibe you would pick up on, I guess, as well. But yeah, event. You can take the time to describe it now.
So you can see before you this sort of very abnormally tall like humanoid figure that with like canid features, but also they do seem to be like a bit of a hybrid between a few things. It's not really doesn't look full-blooded Lupin. He is about 6'8", so just around the other Lupin, and
he's tall. He's tall.
Just not just looks a little out of place almost. But he stands very loosely, and any movements you see, you don't really hear a lot of sound from it. Weirdly composed and quiet for his size. He's just got this tan skin, large open robe that just tapers down. Obviously not wearing a shirt under it. It's messy mane of bright sort of golden retriever hair and these big dog ears, basically.
Nice.
And he's
also
seems to have. Yes, precisely. He has this massive crystalline sword over his back.
Yeah. Well, I kind of.
He seems to just be. Yeah.
Look at you.
He seems to give off some sort of aura of friendliness, but also it's just a little he's just a little unnerving due to his size, no matter what.
Hell yeah. So I kind of creep out in a little bit. I will let you guys know I do have to go get my car here in a minute. So after this scene, I'll probably leave and then I'll be back.
Wait, where the
if you
fuck?
guys are still playing. But
Seth
yeah,
gave you a car in this game? What the fuck?
Oh no, my actual IRL real car. I have to go get it.
Yeah, I know. I'm no wonder.
They have cars in Australia.
No, we
No
don't
way.
have cars here. We use
When did
You
that
guys
kangaroos.
ride
happen?
around, you guys ride around on kangaroos out there in
Yeah, we
Australia?
do.
Hell
That's
yeah.
how you get
Sometimes on a
Spiders,
really
I
bad
spiders.
thought it was
rhino.
just
actually
giant
sounds-
spiders.
That actually sounds more efficient than owning a car. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Kangaroo Express.
Exactly.
So I kind of
Just hop in
peek
that
my
Dutch and fucking go.
head out and like knock on the wood, like, "Hello? Is there anybody here?" Huh. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" Just like peek out. "What's up?"
Seems we've found our inhabitant.
Ah,
Come on, Jim.
oh, you know, Jim's gonna be
Br-
hella confused.
Jim comes
Here in a
in
minute.
behind this strange looking creature that's nearly 7 feet tall.
Oh, Jim, what's up, man?
And Jim looks and is like, "You're alive?"
I don't
You're-
think Jim's
You're
ever.
alive?
I don't think.
Who the fuck
don't
is
think-
this guy?
I don't think Jim's ever seen me like this though before. I don't think I've
Like,
talked to Jim since
blinks
this.
a couple times, probably loosely
Yeah.
recognizes the intonation in your voice, and is just like, that's part of it. Like, you're alive, you exist, like, kind of thing. And
Yeah, what's up, man?
Strikeville up in the front here, he has a weapon. He's drawn his spear fully from his back, and
Whoa, whoa,
he's
whoa, whoa.
like not sure what the hell, because like no one's supposed to be here. This place was boarded up, like, and he growls in common at you, like, "How did you get in here?"
I have my avenues of ways, Mr. Vale. Do I know this guy? I think I know this guy.
You know this guy, yet, but yet again, he has not seen you since you transformed either.
I have my avenues and ways around this place, Mr. Vale. Or Strike Vale, whatever you prefer me to call you in this moment. It's been a minute since we spoke last, I think. It's changed.
You sound like the Birdman.
It's because I am the Birdman. I flick him one of those coins.
He grabs it, looks at it, pockets it, and just, looks back at Jim and the other, and says to those two, "This is Birdman Attorney. He is a good friend of the Lady Eros, who told me of the 12th house." And then he turns back to you, Birdman. "Perhaps you could tell us more about what you did. What happened
Right.
here? The city, other than the chaos and aftermath, they look back out the window, and the wolves, seeing a blood moon yesterday evening, the Lupin, like, all the Lupin are on edge today. This is like, the world is upside down kind of thing."
Well, what had occurred was we went to the 12th house and some things happened. I'm not really at liberty to say at the moment. All I know is that the 12th house, from what I understand, doesn't exist anymore. I guess. That's all I know. I've been gone for a minute. I had to take care of some business on the outside. He looks at like himself, like
And
literally the outside. Like,
was
I'm not a crippled bird anymore, as you can see.
are you responsible for this?
I don't think so.
He nods like he thinks he believes you, and he looks back at the other two, and should we take him in for questioning? And really asking Nova, your character. Like, you are loosely the highest ranking person in the room right now, according to Lupin. So.
Right. I'm sure we don't need to take them in. I totally could, though. But I'm sure I could sit down and have a fine conversation with them. Look like fine folk. Be all right if we just, had a little bit of a conversation.
Well, Strikeville very, very directly just walks over and sits down at that. Jim takes kind of a lean against the front door seal kind of area, just kind of walks the door. And Birdman, you generally get the impression that you're not allowed to leave the room yet. Which is a general impression you get from the three cops in the room.
Cool. So,
and we'll say most of that was in Canaan, like you guys were speaking the wolf tongue.
All right. So, what do you want to know?
Well,
you go. I'm not going to ask the good questions.
Strikevale will. There have been rumors going around that certain houses have made alliances that are technically illegal.
Yep.
We are wondering if you can bear any information of that, and maybe you would, you're back in town, represent any charges for the court once we file through the proper channels.
I can look. I mean, I need some time to look into it. Like I said, I've been a little indisposed for a couple of weeks. I had some business to take care of outside of the city. So I had to go. As you can see, he like gestures at himself, like, see, I had some stuff to take care of outside of the city. I have fixed my ailment, so I can speak now, which is good. Good news. I'm the shit now. But you know how that is. So I can do some investigating for you and get back to you.
He nods at that. What of this drow escapade that destroyed our city? They had some tortoise monster they paraded and left. We lost the trail just outside the city in the muddy swamps. You were there that night?
I was. Yeah, me and Eros had. There were a couple of drow that ran on the way. Like you said, I did some investigating, and I also lost the track in the muddy swamps.
So why have you returned?
I saw a dragon. That's pretty cool. Came back.
Their look of disbelief from everyone. Dragon are not known in these lands in any way, shape, or form.
Killian looks really excited.
Yeah, it was cool. Called him BBD. Big black dragon.
He is coming to the city?
No, but I saw him. I was just out there looking for, like you said, the big tortoise thingy, because like we all saw it come out of the big hole. Is the big hole still there?
Yes.
Yeah, we saw it come out of the big hole. Tracked it for a little bit.
It is unlikely we will repair that hole anytime soon with the other goings on. Do you have any connections with the Ninth House?
Is this God asking me, or is this?
This is Strikevale. This is Strikevale.
What do I know about the Ninth House? That was like where Mel was from, right? The Ninth House.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I know that the Bindalord's a freaky, weird, obsessive fuck. I know that he breeds weird company. I know that
the Ninth House has become the spearhead against the 12th in the last few days, hours.
My accusations of how weird he is still stand.
Yes.
They don't like me.
Well, that is unfortunate. I have no further questions. He gestures over to Killian, as if you have any questions.
Well, really, I mean, if you knew is the dragon? Do you know where the dragon is?
Oh, he was headed east.
Just like
Don't worry about
Personal.
that. It's all good.
All right, fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about
It's
that.
hard to
That's
find
fine.
dragons. I just want to fight one eventually. Anyways,
Yeah, they're actually extremely rare in this area. They haven't been
Hmm.
around for a minute. We're not going to talk about that though. If actually, gentlemen, if you really like to accuse me, I'd like to jump out of my window now.
Jim Jim starts to laugh.
Right.
The Strikeville's looking at you like look back at the window. It's like 2-story, like almost 3 stories. Like, okay.
It's been a minute. Sorry, it's
They
like a spiritual thing. You know, I got to do it to like release all the endorphins in my brain or what. I'm just gonna jump.
Sure,
out.
I'll do it with you.
Oh yeah. I'd be careful though. I think there's like some sort of like clothesline. The lady downstairs usually hangs her clothes or something. I usually do like a little flippy flip flop. But you know what? I'm just gonna jump out the window. Me and my associate, we're gonna jump out the window. He looks at Leandra like, come on now.
Leandra slinks out of the room and they finally see her from being stealth. And she crosses the way as quickly and gingerly as possible. And Jim goes to the window and he looks out, he opens it, he cuts away the clothesline with his sword.
That's
Right.
rude.
And
Damn.
he's just like, well, now you don't gotta worry about that.
Oh, there you go.
And Jim looks back at Strikevale, and in Canaan, he says to Strikevale, should I send one of my men, or do one of us want to go with this only lead we have? Strikevale looks at Killian, like if he's going to answer that question. If not, Strikevale will.
I would be pretty happy to accompany our only lead. Seems incredibly interesting. I should be able to keep up.
He was a bird the last time I saw him, Strikevale says. He
Oh.
obviously has powerful magic.
I'm faster than most birds. Maybe this one.
Well, I don't think you can fly.
You have no idea.
You're just how fast he can go.
Okay. Strikeville kind of nods at that, and then him and Jim get ready to leave. Obviously, under the intention that Killian will follow the others, and they just let the
If
thing.
you have any questions, I'll be back in my office later. Just come see me there.
Wonderful. Can I hire you as my lawyer?
You can actually. It's been a
Lovely.
minute. I haven't picked up some clients. Anyway, you want to jump out a window with me?
Sure, that'd be wonderful.
I jump out of the window. I
jump out immediately follow.
And then we do some parkour on the roofs.
I would like competing athletics or acrobatics checks to see who's cooler as they parkour out of the window.
Did you say athletics?
Dear God.
Oh, I'm gonna roll for child.
Spider-Man landing.
Birdman. Well, you're not there, Ferrum.
It's a child.
Oh, the child. Oh yeah, Leandra. Leandra, like the big ass Killian's in her way when she tries to land, and she like has to like scale off with her claws off your back, Killian, to like land because she didn't expect you to just take up so much room.
Oh, sorry about that.
But Birdman, it's definitely, this guy is large and extremely like aware of where he positions his body as he lands. And you guys are definitely impressed. And honestly there's very few creatures in the City of Salt that are as tall as Killian. Very few things are. So this is for Leandra, there's probably that extra second from the Panther child about just like looking at just how tall he is once you're outside and there's a building to compare him to. It's just like but
I don't believe I've introduced myself. I feel very rude. You are
That's okay.
Birdman?
That's what they call me.
But is that your name?
Yeah, sure.
All right, sure. Wonderful.
That's what they call me. That's what they put on every plaque.
Birdman, attorney at crime.
Well, you see, I'm the direwolf of the first house, Killian Canius, officer of shit and fuck, whatever. I don't remember what my titles even are. Can't remember.
Nice. They call me attorney at crime.
Really? That's a wonderful name.
It's
I want
attorney
that
at
one.
crime. Yeah, it's attorney at crime.
Where do you get that
Not,
one?
not attorney of crime. How? You know.
You get You have to go to school for that. I kind of don't want to.
Nah, you don't have to. It's fine. They don't. It's cool. You just gotta read a book or two, and
Right.
yeah. Anyway, let's go. Fine. Let's go to my office first. We might have some paperwork there that I can look into. And other than that, he looks at Leandra like, "What do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do? Since you're here now."
Oh, it sounds like the city's in a little bit of a hiccup, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't expecting this when we came back.
Oh yeah, me neither. But welcome back to the city of Salt, I suppose.
What? How about I go find cotton?
Yeah,
can
that's
make
a
sure-
great idea. Go do that. I'm gonna go to my office and I'm gonna look for Mel and Setch. They might be able to tell me what the hell has been going on for the past couple of weeks.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out, I guess.
Word. And he puts up like a high five.
She gives you an awkward high five, like
Word.
why are you
As soon as she awkwardly high fives me, I Naruto run off in a general direction.
Killian does put up a hand for a high five too.
Leandra will high five you awkwardly as well.
She goes,
like,
yes. Then Killian sprints off. I will trying to do a Naruto run as well.
Make way! You are in one of the more populated parts of the city,
you're like,
so
make way. Meanwhile, I'm literally like shoving people, like, get the fuck out of my way. like kicking them.
Jump over people.
Yeah, jumping over people.
Get the cops in the way.
It feels so good to be back.
Because of narrative reasons that have already happened, I'm gonna say you find Setch today, but not Mel. So where does Birdman, after a few hours of going to his office, there's a general note on your office of like, where were you kind of thing? Like, and people with the other chaos, there's not any new cases going on. There's just like trying to figure out who to charge for all this shit, and they can't find anyone.
I was working on my body. You know how it goes.
Yeah. They can't find anyone. Like, there's no drow children left that are alive. Spencer is dead. There's an obvious like anger in the city to find someone to blame for all this, to like kind of wrap it up and let people kind of move on. So there's definitely like a search from the houses to, and that you generally get the impression that's what they were trying to do with you. Sort of was what Strikefield was seeing, is like, would you be someone that we could use in that way? But you're Birdman, attorney.
Right.
And they just didn't know where you were, and you guys with the fucking seeming spell,
Yeah.
made them think it's mostly made them think it's all drow that are responsible for this. Nonetheless, you would find Setch. I imagine you would eventually make your way to the 10th house tavern.
Yeah.
That you have been with Setch before, and Setch lives there, as we've discussed before. Has a room there, as well as own apartment.
Wait a minute. If I'm taking somebody to a secret tavern, I probably should not bring a police officer. That's probably not a good idea.
Probably shouldn't bring the cops.
I'd imagine Setch wouldn't be there though. He would be trying to find Mel, or he would be at his like actual house.
Well, I actually do have to go now, so this is going to be a wild goose chase for Birdman for a minute because he has to make up like 3 or 4 days to like find you guys
Okay.
anyway.
So why don't we just say, for ease of the narrative, and
stealth
that
away from
you
this
guys
police
are
officer.
finding, you guys have to, you take a couple days with all the chaos to like get in contact with each other, but not really, because I'm gonna throw a wrench in the system.
Oops.
But nonetheless, like it's like a day and another day. Like this entire day goes by, and like you get whiffs, we'll say, of Setch and like where he is, and like, but
Nice.
he's looking himself. So it's like you guys are on a wild goose chase. Like you're like hours behind where Setch was.
Right.
And then loosely by the end of the day, you start to realize you're like 6 to 8 hours behind where Mel was and what Mel's doing. And people starting to mention her, and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? They're searching for
Oh
whom,
no,
and then
people are
and
mentioning
eventually
no,
by the end
no.
of the day, after it's already eventually by like the next morning after it's already happened, you realize they made their way to some sort of 11th house moot, and it's like hours after it's happened. It's like you'll probably pick up on that.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, I have to go for now. I might be back. If you guys are still playing when I get back, I will be back.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good luck.
So I'm gonna say we'll jump forward a couple days in time. The only thing that may and could be accounted for that time is like if you guys as your city characters want to work towards any downtime stuff. No, that doesn't make sense. Never mind.
You
Doesn't make
have my
sense. Let me
plans.
we're not in downtime yet. We're not in downtime yet.
No.
Okay. You guys can give yourselves a long rest if you have yet to give yourself a long rest, because
Oh,
this would
thank
be
God.
the night. This would
Oh,
finally
God,
end that
thank
day
goodness, fuck.
and that chaos, and
Yes,
you guys, Mel would be able to get back to her lair. What I can't remember, Mel, about how and if and what you would say as a contact to Setch before this long rest. Like, would you get in contact with him in any way to let him know what happened, or would you wait until the following day?
Well, I would probably have to take at least a short rest to regain a spell slot because I used literally all of my 3rd level and above spell slots for sending and
That's true.
divination.
Okay, so
Wait, I know where Mel's secret hideout
Yeah,
is, right?
he knows where my secret
Yeah,
hideout
I'd
is.
probably
She just
I'd probably
doesn't
try
know
and
he
find her there.
knows.
okay, so it's probably one of those things then where Mel is literally hoping that Setch just eventually works out
Finds
to come
her.
here. And we'll say that Setch does. It's probably he searches the city for most of the day, picks up on some of the hints and clues of what happened to the 11th house, realizes that going there and asking Orcafor a bunch of questions is probably not a good idea
Bad
right now.
idea.
With everything that may be going on with, because Setch was there for your research to like research the words. Like he knows there's a word of power at play.
And he knows that Mel was literally about to go and kill the guy who stole
so
the last Vanderlord's soul.
it's up to you, Setch, whether or not you want to say you make your way to the lair before or after your long rest. But
I'd make my way after a long rest.
Okay, so the next morning, or wake up early, make your way there
I'm gonna
as
let
the
Mel
sun's getting
scheme
up.
all night.
And
he's fucking tapped. My boy
Just-
is drained.
Mel is just hiding in a circle of gnolls and scheming in her bat cave.
You just hear moaning and echoes as you come in the cave. The gnolls just. Okay.
I don't think she has any lights on at all.
Probably not. That would make sense. Which wouldn't bother Setch, I don't think, in any way.
No, I've got dark vision for days.
And you're a shadow sorcerer, so it's like
I was more than born in it. I am literally made of it.
Okay. I need to use the restroom real quick, so let's take a quick pause, and then if you guys want to do a quick roleplay scene with Sesh and Mel, do that. But early in the morning, there will be a reason for me to hopefully gather people back together. We'll see what happens as it plays out, but there's going to be chaos arising. Let me go to the restroom real quick.
So are you role playing or are we shit talking?
Shit talking.
Well, like the thing I kind of want to roleplay has to be done in secret. The thing I want to do.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Shut the fuck up. Fucking
I'm
We have
being legit.
secrets.
secrets.
Listen, the dog's just trying to sniff you people out, alright?
I mean, why can't we know though? Come on.
You can't know.
Because you can't know.
It's secret.
I
It
mean,
wouldn't be a secret otherwise.
that's oh my.
This is new 12th house shit. Okay.
But where's the dramatic irony?
You wanted the city
Yeah,
to burn, so
You can
we will
keep
do
your
a witch
dramatic
hunt.
irony and shove it up your ass.
Wow. What if it's already up my ass and I want more?
Then I would say, damn, you're kind of into that.
Read a book.
What's with all these houses? I'm just chilling in the doghouse.
I'm just in a doghouse, man. Come on, we can't have everything. Look, if Birdman and Shrek can have a conversation about secret things out in the open, we can do it too.
Are you done with your personal conversation in my space?
You done with your personal conversation in MySpace?
Oh my god.
But no,
Oh.
no, seriously though. Like, I mean, like, I don't. Come on, just do it here. Just do it here.
No.
I can't. It's a secret.
It's a secret.
Literally, like the whole thing in my character will be revealed if I tell you.
What? That's. But
Oh, I'm getting character information? Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
you are.
come on.
Yes.
It's not like any of our characters would fucking
I've
know.
been waiting so long for this.
Yeah, but you gotta be surprised when you get the reveal then.
Yeah, and I can roleplay that. But for now, I want to know.
Too bad.
You just
It
have to
must be
find out.
genuine.
Yeah.
As if I've
a
never
reason.
been as if I haven't been genuine for
You're being
everything
forced
else.
to method act.
All
Yes.
I do
How it
is
goes.
Course of method acting, indeed.
Okay. Well,
they
Such
want
and
to
Mel.
hide.
What?
Okay, so my sort of like getting together with the group, I think that's fine if it gets delayed for next week because I'll have to go pretty like soon anyways. So we can sort of get maybe a better connection for me to like just come in and like
Mm.
have some shit where they would immediately throw me off as a cop.
Yeah. Instead of being like, goddamn narc, get out of here.
Get out of here, narc. Fuck this dog.
Tattletale. Fucking tattletale.
Who let the dog in?
Let the dog.
What the
Well,
dog?
Niche.
I want to ask if Setch and Mel want to do anything for their first meet, and then I'm going to
Secret.
create
Yeah, we wanna
a
go
reason for the city to be in some chaos. So, do you guys early in the morning when you first meet? Is there anything you guys want to role play through, or
As a secret.
Yeah, as a secret.
As a secret.
what are you saying?
As a secret.
I want to go
As
to
a secret.
You want to?
You
We
want to
wanna-
go?
hide.
You
We
want to
want
go
to
in?
talk privately.
You want to go in
Exactly,
the
yeah.
secrets channel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, dokie.
It's not fair.
That's interesting. Okay. Then Nova, if you gotta go, then that I more than understand it. That.
William will spend the next 3 days playing with a boomerang.
mm,
That's
Hey,
okay.
don't make fun of boomerangs, right? They're pretty cool.
Boomerangs. I have one of my main weapons is a boomerang.
Oh,
Alright.
amazing.
I love
No,
it.
look,
I
I would
love
know
it.
what a boomerang is, of course.
I love it. I'm glad you picked the boomerang. It's one of my favorite weapons.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, we'll go into sights and secrets, and then we'll come back afterwards.
Melva, are you
Uh,
leaving?
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go eat dinner.
Okay.
So I'll be
Love
sure.
back.
you.
Love you too. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye.
Later. Thanks for being here.
Yo.
All right, we'll be back.
Really? This? Can you believe this?
OG free! OG
G3!
free!
Oh, it's only two of us. But what the fuck,
OG
man?
2! OG 2!
Why the fuck can't we know? Damn it!
I don't know!
I can roleplay the shit out of anything.
Hey, do you hear the shit, Craig?
Craig.
Right, you don't talk.
Oh, fucking. And I always have you muted too, so even if you could, I don't want to listen to your fucking voice. Come on, man. I want to fucking hear it. I know how to act surprised to character reveals and shit, man.
Same. I mean, for me, it's gonna be easy as hell. It's a monotone metal man, so it's not like there's much to act.
And, like, what? Eros has, like, Garul not gonna give a fuck. He doesn't know who the fuck Setch is. And
Yeah.
Eros probably won't care, more than likely, at all. Yeah, she probably wouldn't. She doesn't even care that Mel's a vampire. She's just like, cool, whatever.
Yeah. It's just. Fuck it, we ball.
Like, god damn it. They just want to fucking hide the toys, and now it's just us and fuck. Well,
Yeah, man.
guess what? Now we can just shit talk them. It's just us.
Exactly. Fuck him.
Fuck you guys. Fuck Jenny.
You guys will hear the recording.
Yeah, Jenny, Zed, yeah, you fuck yourselves.
You don't have your little secrets. We don't want to know anyway.
We don't even want to know.
No.
Nope, I don't want to know. Nope, fuck. Nope.
Nope, I'm not curious at all.
When you reveal it to everyone, I don't even want to know. No, just
Yep,
give me.
same.
Don't even reveal it. Don't want to know at all. No, not at all.
Nope.
Just-
My
I'm-
curiosity, 0%.
my curiosity is negative 0%. That's not even possible, but it is now.
It's not. It somehow is. It makes sense. It's chaos. It doesn't have to make sense. Because it doesn't make sense, it makes sense.
Exactly. So fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck him.
Well, I'm just a sexy bard or a very very big werewolf. So fuck you.
I'm just a big badger or a big metal man. Big both ways.
I'm big.
But-
I'm big.
One is a furry and one is a tinny.
What the fuck? Wait, would people actually get like fucking turned on by a robot though?
I mean, have you seen these pictures of sexy planes floating around a few years back?
Look, I know the Japanese are inventing like sex machines, but God's no. It's fucking sexy.
It's the thing. There's a certain rule for that, you know.
Look, I know Rule 34 exists, but damn it, sometimes even I don't think about it.
If it exists, there's porn of it. Except there's no mountain porn. Therefore, mountains don't exist.
No, there's definitely mountain porn.
You know?
Look, there is art of the earth being a fucking anime girl.
Well, yeah,
Trust
true.
me. It exists in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, there's definitely porn of that. And there's also porn of anime girl versions of different browsers. And
Yep.
there's a version of everything. Literally.
Everything.
Nothing is safe. Nothing is sacred.
There's no such thing. So yeah. Nothing can be sacred if nothing is sacred. So fuck you.
Oh, fuck him. Absolutely. Sometimes literally.
Yeah. Both literally and figuratively. In both the
Yeah.
rude connotation and the good connotation. At the same time.
Sometimes all at once.
Exactly. No one can stop us.
Nobody.
Brothers and said. Brothers and said.
Brothers and said. Brothers and said.
You can't stop this. It'll never be stopped.
We will be there, always watching.
You think you can escape us? You can't. You'll never escape us.
Nothing escapes us.
I'm.
You can run, but you'll never hide.
We are literally the two primal desires that every single animal on the fucking planet has.
Damn straight. Okay, sometimes gay. Sometimes both.
Sometimes both. You think animals can exist without lust? No. You
You can't escape the frantic bi energy.
You can't escape it. It is everywhere.
He's so broken, I must have him.
You can't send us to horny jail. We live there. We've got the keys. I swear, I want a context where Eros can say that line, but I know it could never happen because Seth would never. I don't see Seth ever making a situation where he has a character saying, "You need to go to horny jail." I can't see it ever happening.
And we must make it happen.
It has to happen some way, somehow. You can't send us to horny jail. We live there. We've got the keys.
Yeah. And we need to blame something on Gary. I don't know who Gary is yet, but we'll find him.
Who the fuck is Gary? Fuck that guy.
He's just sitting there with 70 scissors and glitter glue.
Surrounded by spiders.
Yes, it's all the spiders where Gary is.
Gary tried to seduce the town prostitute and started a war. Well done, Gary. Oh my god. What the fuck?
Watch these outtakes so many fucking times.
They're the fucking just one of the best. It's just fucking great. Catholic Psalm. I know that I'm Catholic Psalm.
Catholic phone. It's just my face voice.
That's just my face voice. Look, if you are into Astarion, you need therapy.
Oh, broken, I must have him. I can't go down on that line.
If you're turned on by the narrator voice, there's a word for you. You'll learn it one. I read comments trying to be like, well, what does that mean? What word actually would be used to describe someone who's turned on by a voice alone?
Oh, I have some news for you, bottom boy.
Like, look, I'm not saying that I can't be turned on by a voice, because I absolutely can be, but
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the wording would be. Isn't it normal for that? Or is it literally just like the body doesn't matter, it's just the voice that matters?
You know what? I'm looking up the scientific term. I need to know this now.
If there isn't a term
What's
yet,
it called
there will
when
be.
you're turned on by a voice. What's it called? Oralism. It's called oralism.
Ah! Oralism. The
By
more
definition, oralism
you
means that you are
know.
aroused by sound. How this looks, well, can vary. Not how this looks, how this sounds. Get it right, Google.
God, Google, you fucking moron.
You just said aroused by sound. It's how this sounds. Come on, get your shit together.
Fucking Google. Well, we know Bing would be even more dumb. You can't trust Bing with anything. But like,
Yeah.
dude, trust me. The way she narrates Dark Urge lines is fucking incredible. It's like
Would be ever so twee for climbing a tree.
and just I just love that fucking cutscene. I miss it in my first playthrough, but in like one of my other playthroughs that I'm planning to complete, like I'm playing like this necromancer that's gonna also go Oathbreaker one day, and I'm like, look, I just have to go back just to find that squirrel and talk to it. And I just love this fucking kicks the son of a bitch into a fucking tree. There's no option. You interact and it happens.
I I love Asteron's reaction to that. Or says he like, do you always face such fearsome opponents?
Like, I'm surprised it even happened because I saw someone play the Dark Urge with the Speak with Animals up and talk to it first. So they couldn't actually trigger that cutscene. Because apparently, if you can speak with animals while doing it, you won't trigger it. So,
Oh.
yeah, that's interesting. So I didn't even know it was a thing. So, but doing it when you can't, it would be so sweet if it climbed a tree. Like, she gets downright fucking seductive. Like, there's, oh god, there's one voice line, like, where it's just like, but why should you have to sacrifice yourself? Here's someone who's perfectly willing to do it.
Oh. I swear, sometimes that voice gives me shivers.
I mean, I don't really get chills from voice lines, like, pretty much ever. I can get emotional, but I rarely, if ever, get chills. But I'm like, I can pick up what this lady is putting down. Like, yeah, I get it. I feel it. I like it a lot. It's like everyone's out here like, ah, man, I want Morgan Freeman to narrate my life. No, I want this
Yeah.
bitch to narrate my life.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want, the scripted, Baldur's Gate version. I want the outtake version to narrate my life.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing this? I don't know.
You
Why am I
know,
doing this?
you know how horny Larian Studios games are? In Divinity, where they had no motion capture, the narrator had to describe the sex scenes, and he was getting really into it.
I mean, you might as well. Look,
It's so good.
Look, if you're going to narrate a sex scene, you narrate a fucking sex scene. God damn it. There's no in between. Look, either you pull a Seth and you fade to black, or you get vivid. You get in detail. You make sure I know every inch of that person's fucking body. How many hairs are in their pubes? How many pubic hairs do they have? I need to know. How many times do they curl?
Precisely.
Is there a specific shape that it's shaved into?
And that's why I was so into this scene in Divinity 2. Because they left out no details. It was good, but it was also way more funny than it should be.
Couldn't really get into like the side character quest lines for Divinity. Just the story wasn't really ever all that gripping. Unfortunately. But no,
Yeah, mostly there to kill shit because the combat is fun as hell.
Yeah. Just wish there were like more spells in it, or at least
Hydro is a bit disappointing in how few damaging spells it has.
I mean, shit. The only disappointing thing about Divinity is that you just wish there was more to do in combat. It's like there's already a lot of shit you can do in combat, yes, but it almost feels like there should be more.
There should always be more.
Always be more.
There's never enough. Never enough options to kill shit with.
Look, man. I might not use every option available to me when I'm killing shit, but I want more options to kill shit with.
Yes. I want the choice of murder weapon.
Look, not 80% of my combat fights might end with me pushing people into holes, but I still want more ways to push people into holes.
What is it this time? Is it Eldritch Blast? Is it an Enraged Throw? Do I just push them slightly and they stumble over their own feet and fall to their deaths? Terrible accident. Who could have done that?
Oh no, someone fell off the watchtower. Whatever could have done this? Oh my.
Oh no, we will never know. Oh, what a shame. He was loved by everyone and blah blah blah.
I swear, there's a black hole power, and I fucking use that to like suck 5 people off the edge of a building. It just has them fall to their death.
Baldur's Gate or Divinity?
In Baldur's Gate.
Oh, I have yes. Which one is that?
Illicit powers, man.
Oh, okay. Oh, I had that power, but I never used it. Why did I never use that?
Dude, when you have I don't know about the base power, but when you have someone transformed into a full-on illithid, you can use Black Hole and it'll deal damage, but you can also use it multiple times without like expending its daily usage. So it's like once you use it in combat, you can use it even more times in combat.
Sick.
And it's fucking great. It's giant AoE range. Like, okay, there's I don't know. Damn it, I kind of shit, but it is spoilers, and other people aren't going to be listening. But there's this one fight where I had to like take on an entire room of people because we were like, "Nah, we're not joining you. Go fuck yourselves." And the only reason I pretty much won that fight, I had to try it a few times. I needed to use a spell of Globe of Invulnerability, clutch as fuck, because one of the enemies kept reflecting Shadowheart's fucking divinity thing. I don't.
Guiding bolt?
No. Not guiding bolts. You know the super. Fuck! Why can't I remember what it's called? It's when you call upon your god to do something really
Divine
big.
intervention.
Divine intervention. Yeah. Kept like I was using divine intervention to like blow up half the people in there, but someone kept reflecting the damage and killing Shadowheart. So I'm like, you're really fucking with me. A global invulnerability fixed that problem real quick. Throw in a fucking black hole, and everyone's nice and grouped up for all the rest of the AoE attacks. Well,
I need to so use this.
Maybe. Although that place is very prime for a baromancy, except you kind of get locked into a cutscene when you enter it, so you can't really do baromancy. Unless you're in a party of multiple people, then you can do baromancy.
How many barrels do you even need to just insta win a fight?
At least 10.
At least 10. Okay. Well,
Just
with
for
a strength
overkill.
of 16.
Just for overkill.
Yeah, because barrels were like what, 60 pounds? Or was it just in Divinity and they made it lighter in this game?
I don't pick up barrels really, so I'm not entirely certain. But I mean, just make a potion of giant strength and you'll be fine.
Speaking of, can we talk about how fucking annoying that fight against all of the tail of the dozen Steel Watchers was?
The Steel Watchers?
Yeah, the Steel Watch, the big metal robot guys before Gortish.
Okay, so here's what I did. I approached Gortash, said, "Yeah, I'll work with you, and we'll fuck over Orin." And then Orin showed up and was like, "Hey, fuck Gortash," and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck both of you. I'm gonna fuck both of you over." So I just went to the fucking Steel Watcher building and blew that shit up. And I didn't really have that bad of a time because I was only like ever fighting a Steel Watcher one at a time, and they weren't that big of a deal to me. And like when I was going to plant the bomb, I just casted invisibility and just walked right past them to plant the bomb. And then I got cutscened out, so it was perfectly fine. But Gortash, his fight was a pain in the ass because of all the fucking traps in the goddamn room. Just like, and then like I got fucked up. I had to redo the fight once because I got fucked over by like a giant AoE attack that like killed 2 of my party members. I'm like, fuck off, man. That's just fuck.
Man, I'm telling you, I think I was a little bit too overpowered at the end and didn't really have much of a challenge. Because Astarion with 4 attacks and crit stacking items? very fucking strong. You know, the orange dagger?
Yeah.
That powerful thing.
Well, here's the
And
thing.
then another dagger that gives vulnerability. Was that, or it was definitely another dagger that gave a loud the crit thing. Then Sorkadin, always overpowered as fuck. And then we had like Shadowheart, of course, with mass healing word and shit. And then there was Lae'zel and Karlach and shit for just going ham.
Well, here's the thing about my fucking party. Because I was doing. Fuck, what was my Dark Urge on my first playthrough? I was playing. Fuck, what was I playing again? Why don't I remember? Oh, I was playing a monk.
Ooh.
Right, I was playing a monk. And I hit pretty fucking hard. Like, the monk items you can find are really fucking good. And just the CC chaining you can also do it, like, is pretty intense. But, like, I had Karlach, and she was okay. She didn't really have too much going with her. And Shadowheart's great. I do like the spells that she has, but I didn't feel she was overpowered. And as for Astarion, I accidentally got him killed. Cause reasons. And so I never got to give him Orin's daggers and shit. So I had to, and Lae'zel was dead because I let Shadowheart kill her. And Gale was also dead because reasons. Because of reasons. No. Gale. No. If you don't give Gale anything, he just leaves. Like nothing happens. Unfortunately, I thought he would explode, which would be funny, but unfortunately, he doesn't. But no, that was my first playthrough. I never got to interact with Gale for reasons. I won't say why. And so I had to use Will, and I wasn't really getting Warlock gear for Will, so he wasn't that strong. Like, in my current playthrough, I found this really good cloak that adds your charisma modifier to cantrips.
Ooh.
So it stacks with the incantation that adds your charisma modifier to your Eldritch Blast.
What, for all 3 blasts?
All blast. Every single hit.
Jesus
so
Christ, that's like 11 damage guaranteed.
Yeah, so I'm like hitting for like 15 to 20 damage per fucking blast. It's doors mean nothing. Doors and chests mean nothing to me. I just have like, yeah, his AC isn't very high, but it's like, okay, well, once I get my third blast, people are dying. It's like that motherfucker is strong as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Fucking warlocks. And
he better be strong. He's a literal demon.
Yes. I mean, as long as you keep Karlach alive. He's a demon.
But it's like the main reason I can't see myself doing an evil playthrough. I just can't, man.
Just kill her at the very beginning then.
I can't. She's so pure.
I did in one of my playthroughs because I thought it would be funny, and it was. I also want.
But it still hurt, didn't it?
Nope, it doesn't hurt at all.
Nope, totally not.
Fuck. The only thing that hurt, shit. It's not that I don't feel bad for the one thing that definitely hurt was when I got Astarion killed. When I got him killed, I was just like, fuck. And I was just so upset. I imagine a lot of people would be like, nope, some scum saving, safe scumming. And I'm like, no, what the fuck? Nice. Fucking nice. Perfect. That's what we'd like to see. Perfect 69.
Nice.
But yeah, a lot of people would be like, probably a lot of people would save scum that shit, but I'm like, nope, I couldn't save him, and I still won the fight. So this is what has to be. It has to be like this.
You can just resurrect him.
Nope, he was permanently dead. Permanent dead.
What?
Nope, no resurrection. Perma-dead. They got the
Withers
notification.
couldn't do anything?
Nope, got the notification. Astarion is no longer in your party permanently.
Why?
I won't say, but I fucked up, and I was like, I couldn't do what I needed to do fast enough, and well, he was fucking, he died. I swear.
Dude.
I was ready to fucking kill some fucking NPCs that walked up and was like, "Hey, you did the thing we asked you to do." And I was like, if they give me any dialogue that says piss off or fucking die, I would have immediately chose it. Not just because I was Dark Urge, but because I was like, yo, that's my guy. That's my
Dark
bro.
Urge in real life. Yeah, Larian really likes to turn NPCs into total dickheads for no reason.
Like, Astarion.
It's like they're telling you, go murder hobo. Go murder hobo.
Just go. Go murder hobo. It's like, and I also, and like I've said before, I feel bad for, failing Shadowheart, because I feel like I definitely failed her. And it's like, bruh, no. Although I did help Lae'zel. I've helped Lae'zel, so that's nice.
That's good.
And I hope I can help him, but I don't know. Based off of the way I'm playing the character, I might end up getting him permanently attached to fucking mineral water. That's not her name, but I don't remember. I don't remember his patron's name. Yeah, and I thought Minthara, but I'm like, no, that's the fucking drow elf bitch. I don't. What?
Mizora.
Mizora, yes. Fucking mineral water.
Well,
fucking shit.
The city's gonna die. I rolled a 69 on a D69, so
yay! You guys are not prepared for what the fuck is going to be in this video while you guys are gone.
No.
Correct. I'm not prepared for that.
Nope, not at all. Okay. So
he's not cutting it out. So
Nope.
spoiler alert.
Oh, good.
Okay. Well, it'll probably be a while. It'll probably be a week or so till we listen. So,
Yeah, where's last week's episode?
Listen, motherfucker. I am terrible at accomplishing things.
To me.
Yeah, you're all good. You're all good. All right. So everyone that's in the city by this point, this probably might be the best place to end it, but we'll see what you guys want to do. It's probably a good 7 a.m. or so. For Garuld, Thelis, Ferrum, Sech and Mel are in her lair outside the city. When all of these characters, all these characters except Ferrum maybe, and Sech by description that was just given. In some ways, you probably haven't heard this noise come from the city. Mel, it is something you heard 12 years ago. When almost 13 years ago. 13 years ago when the information now that people know is when the 12th house lost their previous binder lord and when the matron mother took hold. During that night, there was the transition was not clean by any ways, not nearly as clean as what you did, and the Tarask's tail flopped around violently for over 15 minutes. It nearly destroyed like so much of the city. It's been since repaired and whatnot. There's been a lot of work done there, but recently some of that has been broken because of reasons. But nonetheless, that night when this was going on, as a warning to the city, to basically keep the populace as far away from possible. There are around the wall of the city, there are these giant ballistae, and they have alarm systems set up to them to like warn people that they're getting ready to shoot these giant things if they need to. Like the Trask is going to wake up. There
Oh.
are those alarms going off that start about 7 in the morning. And the city erupts into chaos, and people are literally running in giant waves to the spillway, away from the Salzamun keep where the Tarask is. And throngs and throngs of people gathering what they have, fear about this going on. I would like the group to roll a perception check as this goes on to see if you pick up on the other thing happening. I should say not happening here.
Even us, or
Yep. You guys, this
Okay.
is your DC is a little higher, I'll say, but it's not a very high DC.
You don't need to roll for me because my computer still isn't charged.
For sure.
Thank you.
For sure. Did I close your sheet? I think I closed your sheet, so let me open it back. No, I didn't. It's hidden over there. Perception. Okay, Setch
well,
was...
we don't know.
Whoops.
Setch has no idea, but Setch would notice Mel stops and hears the noise, and then Mel... I picture Mel as the ranger, underdark kind of person they are.
Mhm.
Gets down and like feels the ground and the stone. Just
Right,
because
yeah.
that noise implies certain things. And Mel notices that although the noise is echoing from above, as it does these very loud kind of siren alarm things through the caverns, it sounds distant, but you're not that far away from the city. You know, it's like the equivalent, like to give you more perspective, this is like the equivalent of the entirety of Manhattan going off an alarm. You know, like there's just a lot of noise. And you realize that what's going on here, that there is how do I put it? There is not a vibration that accompanies this in a way that you're used to. Right? You were part of this 12 years ago. And Farum and Garuld, in a similar fashion, you go out to the balcony or the window wherever you've been staying, I presume in the 11th house during all this, and you notice, people mostly in the throat and westward and even in the tailstones and southward, like going out of their homes, waving out, going. The beast crown in and of itself isn't reacting as much to the houses and stuff like that, because they're generally seems to, you guys have perspective. You're in the higher part of the city, and some of the towers, the 11th house has one of the tallest ones, can even see over the keep walls, and there's no smoke or dust arising from where the Tarask is, and all of you notice there's no earthquakes. There's no movement happening from the center part in the way you all expect. And Mel doesn't pick up on that. Mel picks up on that and doesn't pick up on this next part because they're just too far away. The rest of you are close enough, and at the higher elevation, the Beast Crown isn't really that far away from Sal's and Moon. Even if you were at a different house other than the 11th house, I want to do a quick measurement. Like, it's a couple 100 feet away. It's not too far. A couple football fields. There is obvious commotion and continuing horns and alarms from on the ground inside the keep. And you guys see from your raised position, Farum especially would point out, there are groups of individuals facing off. Like there is a coup going on right now. There is, and the people in charge of the ballistae are raising the alarm that because there is a battle going on around the Tarask right now between multiple groups.
I'm definitely flying in to investigate.
Presumably trying to take territory or whatever the case is, take control for these things. With your 20 pluses, I would like you guys to also roll a history intelligence to see if you recognize any of the symbolism that's going on.
Ooh, this will go well. Both of us.
Oh
What the
no.
fuck?
You do
Let
not.
me take the
You
26.
do not.
I'm using inspiration for this.
Okay, then with inspiration you do, because otherwise no. It was
Holy.
it was a high DC in and of itself. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll probably wrap up here just for ease of things because we got some people gone.
No, that's all good.
But you. Okay, so Farum jumps off the ledge on the 11th house, starts to fly towards over the city. And again, you hear the noises, and as you go over the walls of the keep of the Salson Wound keep, there the crash there's these alarms should only be used for that purpose, is what you've been told. You haven't been in the city long enough to hear those, but you understand this basic concept. And then as you get closer, there's a couple hundred people from a couple different houses. Farum hasn't been here long enough to understand all the symbolism, I'll say, with that history check. But it's obvious that the Civil War is continuing, and someone decided to launch an attack this morning. Where does... And, not where. Farum sees that it's gathering around two places. One is... Let me switch to the draw tool. One is, and I'm going to make it a bluish color, so it stands out from the red a little bit more. One is about by the tail, the butt of the Tarrasque is where most of that is forming. And another is near its upper right shoulder. They are near the binds, the 13 binds, these ruined chains that glow and help keep the Tarrasque asleep. Where does Farum go?
Let's go over here.
All right. Farum, as you get to that point, your realization as you get closer, you realize this is you guys dealt with this explicitly down below. This seems to have the same marks as the 12th house, so you think this is the bind of the 12th house as you get closer.
Oh shit.
Garul, does he react to this? What does he do, if anything?
Garul's watching Farum fly away, like looking over the railing, seeing the fighting off in the distance, would just turn around, thinking to himself, not my fucking problem, and would instead look for Orcafor in the meanwhile.
Early in this morning, it takes you upwards of 20 minutes to find him. He's not in his typical study or room. You find him down below in a more common map room, and they have a sort of three-dimensional illusion table that is displaying the city as best you can tell, and the focus is definitely on Salzenwoon Keep, and you can see them trying to adjust the minor illusion, the illusion magic over it to account for recent reports that are coming in through magics that you obviously can't hear. And he's surrounded by 5 other wizards. You recognize 2 of them from your time here. The other 2 you do not recognize. And then we'll say Thelis is the 5th. Thelis is in here. as the fifth one. And even though he's not really a wizard, you don't know that. And nonetheless, they are definitely engrossed in what's going on here. And you hear Orcafor in common as you come in, giving orders to two of them to make their way to the fifth bind. We must reinforce before things get any worse. And then they turn and notice you, and he just nods, and Orcafor says, "Dwarf," with a question.
I have a question pertaining to business.
He nods, definitely getting your impression, and like turns to look more at the city. Like he's obviously listening to you, but he obviously doesn't think that's as important as what's in front of him right now.
We almost got it. And it's obvious. Someone else has it now. My question is, does our deal still stand?
He stops and looks at you, waves his hand, and a room on the illusion magic on the table appears, and you can see a smaller version of Alucard sitting in a room by himself. And I have never seen magic quite like his. Yes, our deal has stand. He waves his hand away, like you're getting the impression Alucard has become the payment that he was expecting for your deal.
Oh, it's fucked up.
Poor boy. Should have just killed him.
Well,
Yeah, would have been a mercy.
well, if you
Would've gotten
killed
the
him, you would have
null
lost
out
the
of it.
soul.
Yeah.
Orcafor, yeah. He's not lawful good. He's not lawful evil. He's sort of lawful neutral.
I mean, hey, no shame there.
You know, he's like, Alucard, he knows Alucard is someone you generally, like, Alucard is someone he doesn't want the 8th house to have. Alucard is, the 8th house is one of the weakest houses in the city, and having someone like Alucard makes Orcafor uncomfortable. Definitely. But, you know, such is life. Orcafor, he waves his hand again, and he brings back the image of the city, and he stops and looks at you, really takes a moment to look at you, and he's just, your binder lord, my cousin, is in dire straits, I feel. If this concerns you, you should react. If not, I more than understand the chaos of the binds, and the words can be too much for many. But I will work on investigating your artifact as soon as I can this evening. We must ensure first that the words of power are not further compromised. Unless you wish to fight a Tarask. The true Tarask.
Oh, trust me. I don't care what happens to your city or your cousin. The deal I made with him is void, since I'm making a deal with you. So, his fate is his own. If he wants me, he can come find me. And if the city falls, I don't need it to survive. Unless you want to make a deal, I'll be removing myself from the situation, awaiting your contact about my artifact.
He has not stopped looking at you since, and his eyes that continuously sparkle squint. And he's obviously deciding something about you. He made some judgment about you that he found unexpected. And he pushes away from the table, and he's shorter than you, kind of walks over, of course. And I make no other deal unless you offer it freely. I do not wish to entangle more threads into this. So I will contact you later today. Young Thelis and Farum should be well served enough. The god butchers are weaklings compared to them. I figure the only worry we have is my cousin himself. But yes, with the shift that has happened, he would have felt it too. He would not show himself. And I will not go either. We lords are in a tenuous position at this point. Someone is trying to take what doesn't belong to them. And I see you understand that what belongs and what cares for you matters most. So I thank you for your service. He bows to you. And I will contact you later.
So be it.
And Garulf will then walk out of the room, and he will proceed back to what's it's the fifth house, right?
Fifth house is where you started, yes.
Yeah, so he'll go back to the fifth house, to the quarters that are set aside for him, and he will just spend time there looking over the different concoctions that are within for his lycanthropy issue. So he'll be in the city, but
yeah. When you make your way to the fifth house, you notice, since you've last been here, over 48 hours ago, not everything is gone and packed up, but a lot of people have left. And whether that's another place in the city or outside the city, there's no evidence to that, but a good 30 to 40% of the buildings that used to have people there have been abandoned. And there is, I guess, only further confirmation that the fifth house is losing its hold because of what they decided to do to aid the 12th house, and the city is heard enough about this. And so those that present loyalty to the fifth house are obviously worried about how they will be judged by the rest of the city. So these rumors must have started last night, kind of thing. There's a general, like, obvious rush of people leaving only in the last 12 hours, it seems. And then the alarms probably has exasperated that to where it almost looks like more than half of the buildings have been left because of the alarm on top of that. So Garuld finds a few tinctures, but it's obvious that there was someone that like came by with a crate or something and like arm filled them into a crate what they could. So there's a couple things here and there. There's a couple shops still that are quote unquote open, but they've locked their doors, boarded up the windows, kind of thing. So and Setch and Mel, the alarms have continued now for upwards of 10 to 20 minutes that you've heard these alarms be going off. Is there anything you guys want to do in that time?
I whispered something.
Whisper, whisper.
Whisper, whisper, whisper.
Whisper, whisper.
Still keeping secrets, I see. Fine.
Yep.
Just be cooler.
Goddamn right I am.
Secrets.
Fucking, I dare someone to be like, you sympathize with the fifth house. I'll kill you. Fucking try me, bitch. I dare someone to start some shit with me.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Sweet.
Is that the amount of new Knowles Mells gets?
Definitely.
So, yeah. What do you guys do, if anything?
Oh,
You
I was
just
muted. I was muted.
Let the city boil in chaos. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do this.
To whom?
To Mel.
Interesting. So Mel, almost immediately after the last thing you did, this happens. So
Wonderful.
Simply say, this is Ferrum Stahlherz. I know not exactly what is happening, but I feel like you might require allies. Do you accept my services?
She replies, I accept. Please find out who the current Binder Lords, including Orcafor, think is responsible for stealing the bind of the 12th house.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright. Another sending spell.
Yeah.
So many of those going around lately. Great.
like this has become the most popular spell of the last two campaigns.
It's
like,
the best spell.
like by far and wide.
We just want to be able to text.
Yes. Oh God.
Birdman,
Brandon,
how
stop.
fast is your heart going?
Brandon, you're...
I am back a
Brandon,
little
I'm
bit.
fucking muting you as.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to mute myself. I'm driving. I want to hear everything. I gotta get there first, though.
Motherfucker.
Birdman, how
Hang
fast
on.
is your pulsing heart going?
What's happening?
How fast is your pulsing heart going?
Oh, you know how it goes.
There it goes.
How much horsepower are we talking?
It goes.
Oh,
3 kangaroos.
power.
Equal to 4 kangaroos.
Yeah. Enough. It's got enough in it.
Let's measure in kangaroo power instead of horsepower from now on.
Kangaroos have fucking power, bro.
I know.
They can
And
hold
knock
themselves
people
up
out.
just on their tail. They're pretty insane.
Oh. Can't the really big kangaroos punch as hard as like an Olympic boxer?
Yeah, their feet are pretty fucked too.
You know, it's like if you got kicked in the chest by one of those, it'd probably break your sternum.
You don't have a chest anymore.
Yeah, it would.
Nonetheless, there was when I was growing up. Speaking of kangaroos, there was this show that I was obsessed with for like a year, where they were ninja kangaroos. It was just
What?
They was like a weird version of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they were kangaroos. And it was
Great.
like this weird.
Gotcha.
I know what you're talking about.
See, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy.
No,
Like
you're not.
it was like before CG, so they like went all out on like the animatronic like makeup and stuff on it. It was pretty cool. It was cheesy as fuck, but it was great.
Fucking damn it. Greed, what's the fucking message?
Nonetheless, you sent
What's the next sending?
sending, yes. We got distracted.
Was there
Greed.
another something?
Greed, you
Yes.
said you were going to send
Yes, there
sending
was
again.
another sending.
Who are you sending? What are you sending?
Sam Mulligan. I'm like, I will do what I can. Do you have any possible leads I should investigate first? End of message.
Possible leads, you say? She will respond, I will explain more later. Currently trying to amass an army. If you have loyal friends, or no, people that need to die, please inform.
God level slot.
No, I'm getting inspiration.
Call me on my personal number.
Call me.
Here is my
baby, if
card.
you need to die.
There is an enormous battle brewing. The persons to die are ripe for the picking. At your leisure.
Oh my. Yeah.
Wonderful fresh meat.
Wait. So I want to.
Mel is Dracula. Mel's officially Dracula.
Wait. So I want to get this straight. So I attack someone, within good reason, and I'm the villain. But then all of a sudden, this random person you just met says, "Hey, can you go kill people for me?" And you're like, "Hey, let's go. Let's do it. Let's
No,
make
I
it
didn't
happen."
ask him to kill people for me. I asked him if he knew people who needed to be killed. I'll do the killing. It needs to be me. That way I get an army.
Kind of the same thing, Give someone a gun.
Look,
You're a part
I
of
have
it.
5 sanity. This robot is malfunctioning.
This robot is malfunctioning.
Malfunction.
Yeah, I think you mean malfunctioning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright, loyalty.
No.
Okay, well.
Sounds like there's people who I can
Yeah.
armify.
Do you make your way to the city?
Hey, Such, do you want to go get some allies?
Sure.
The way Mel says allies, they're future gnolls.
Yeah.
There's gonna be more gnolls added to the bunch.
Make sure not to aim for the head.
Can you cast seeming so they don't know it's us?
Yeah, sure. I'll cast seeming on us, and if there are any gnolls, it does too.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Perfect. Thank you.
Wait, I don't think seeming has a limit on it. Does seeming have a limit?
I don't remember.
I thought it was 8 or like 9.
Is it?
Looking it up. I don't remember. Number of creatures you can see within range.
Holy shit, Mel!
As long as any number of creatures that you can see within range, as long as they're within 30.
Oh my god!
As long as they're within 30 feet of you. This is why it's 30 feet.
It's not concentration either.
It's not concentration either. So, seeming is such an awesome OP spell.
I believe I have.
I don't know. I've lost.
I
have them all. I have them all on the Drow map. I haven't brought them over yet. It's on one of my notes that I put down here. I just wrote a note of null organization.
I think it's either 14 or 19.
I archived that.
I easily fit within 30 feet.
I can fit. Group hug.
Nonetheless, yeah.
I can go back through the logs and count them up.
That's fucking damn it.
No.
Why is this life?
Maximum chaos.
Why is this life?
Let me. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 on the map, so I'm thinking 14 makes sense.
Yes, that does make sense because I remember, amassing a few more.
Yeah. So there's 14 nulls. Okay.
See, Setch, why did you let this happen?
You could have fireballed them when you first met them, damn it. Okay. Well, all right. Mel and Setch are making their way back to the city. Garuld is there, hanging out at the fifth house. Ferrum flying over. Then let's
And
get
I will
one
cast seeming as well on us and
seeming.
whoever
Right.
knows. Me and Mel and whatever we have.
All right. What are you making you all look like?
I will make us look like cat people.
A big
And we
cat
have
colony family.
yeah, and then we have a litter of gnolls, and they just look like baby cats of different colors.
Aww.
Cat, mommy, and daddy. Okay. Imagery.
Little do people know these little fucking cats are hungry vampires.
100%. The last hour and a half, was beautiful, and I didn't have to create anything for it.
You didn't have to think about worldwide repercussions.
No. Yeah, I did. I wrote a lot of
Seeming
notes.
is very underrated.
It is an extremely underrated spell.
And a shop.
Extremely underrated
How could this
spell.
go wrong?
Well, I love it because it inadvertently bypassed some of the magic I did in the matron mother's room that I just because of what it is. I was just like, God damn it. 5th level spell. Nonetheless, every time seemings come into play, I'm just like, well, I need to rewrite my encounter. Well, it's also just like the world doesn't see these kind of things very often. Like I feel like seeming like anything above a 4th level spell in this part of the world is just like, what? That exists? You could do that? But nonetheless. Brandon, let's give you a brief recap as some last imagery. Birdman going about his way. They were searching for a couple days. This is a couple days later. So you can decide how Birdman's involved in this. But there was the Tarrasque alarm goes off, like the tornado alarm in cities. Like that the Tarrasque is waking up, and then when people actually react to see what's going on, they realize that the people that aren't just running away for their lives, fearing that the Tarrasque is going to destroy everything, the Tarrasque isn't actually awake. That the alarms have been set off by the God Butchers because the Civil War has brought its way, the coup, whatnot, has brought its way into the keep itself. And there are 2 of the binds being taken by, they're not taking the word of power, but they're taking the area where their binds are. And so these houses are trying to control that, which is another way to sort of control the Tarrasque. If you mess with the bind with a powerful enough magic, you might wake up the Tarrasque. Kind of thing. So a loose threat going on. Definitely binder lords involved because they would be the only ones aware that a word of power has shifted. They are aware the 5th house and the 12th house are the ones being targeted. So there's that. Ferrum has flown to engage with this, meanwhile sending sendings to Mel to pledge loyalty and gather information about next steps, about working together. Ferrum rolled high enough last time to kind of loosely pick up on these things. Garuld communicates with Orcafor and about what's going on, and basically Orcafor doesn't invite him to participate. Orcafor is intimidated by Garuld, to be sure. He did create a fucking blood moon out of nowhere. And then Mel and Setch have gathered in their lair. They had a little conversation. a secret conversation about when they met back up in the lair, and then they heard the alarm, and now they're bringing gnolls disguised as cat people to come gain more gnolls.
Yes.
To add to our family.
To add to your family.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
To
So-
grow our litter.
So, Brandon, I guess the only role play I added for your characters was Thelis being in the room when Garul basically told off Orcafor and asked Orcafor if he's going to finish the thing he asked him to finish. Orcafor has this big table that's illusion magic where it's kind of emulating what's happening in the city, and then he sent a couple wizards to go engage in the center to assist with what's going on. So Thelis is loosely aware of that information. I guess Orcafor would probably, Farum already flew off. There's probably that implication where you could definitely join. But Orcafor, I think he trusts you of all the other characters the most. So he would probably want you to gather information, at least like give him more firsthand knowledge of what the fuck's going on there. Because they're only creating this illusion magic on the table from what they're seeing from the tower and what information. They're just making it look real so they can start to plan it out. It's not in real time, so to speak. So what do you want to do with Thelis and or Birdman? Because Birdman, at the same time, he would be aware of this alarm. It's just been a couple days later. He probably has maybe set up some sort of meeting or something with Setch, maybe, or like an idea of where Setch would be later today after some of his investigation at the least. But then alarm, So I don't know what you want to do with your characters to kind of get us ready for next time.
I think maybe I would imagine Birdman probably does some investigation on finding Setch and Mel. If he can't find Setch and Mel, he would probably find the next best people to talk to. I mean, he has contact with some of the Binder Lords, so he could ask them kind of what's going on. So he knows P.O., he knows Orcafor, he knows probably a couple other ones. There's that. Yeah, or if he ends up finding Setch at some point, I mean, in his usual haunts or whatever. I know he's never gonna find Mel because Mel's being a weirdo.
That's
yeah.
a weird way to call amassing an army.
Yeah, well, and then I guess Thelis probably does do whatever Orcafor wants him to do. If Orcafor wants him to go look for info, he will. If he doesn't, then if he wants him to stay at the tower, he will. If he wants him to... Whatever Orcafor tells Thelis to do, I think he will do. So,
Okay.
He is his master after all. He is teaching him magic. So, you know how that goes.
I think he would want you to go back up Farum. He doesn't 100%. He doesn't 100% trust Farum.
Trust the robot. Well, I
Okay.
trust the robot. So fuck.
And that will give us a means to get most of the party together. I think in a similar fashion with this alarm, the first house and Nova's character would react in some way towards that.